Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
Tuesday night in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A little bit cool, a little bit rainy. The roof is all closed up. We have interleague baseball tonight. It's the Milwaukee Brewers and the Baltimore Orioles from the American League East. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Tough loss yesterday for the Brew Crew. They look for the bounce back here tonight. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. We'll hear from Sophia Minard in a little bit as well. Well, the Brewers are swinging the bats, no question about that. They have 6 straight games where they've had double-digit hit totals, and you might be able to point to the leadoff spot and Gene Segura as part of that success.
Yeah, he says he doesn't like the leadoff spot, but I think with Ryan Braun hitting behind him in the lineup, I think the leadoff spot fits him to a T. More of a prototypical leadoff hitter. You can see what Segura has done in 5 games in that leadoff spot, a .375 batting average, a couple of doubles, 6 runs. The one thing that the Brewers would like to see more out of Segura is the base on ball, because he can run. He's a good contact hitter. That's what you want at the top of the order. Ron Renicky never really sold on Carlos Gomez. He'd prefer him more in the RBI position. That's where he is right now.
And look at the numbers here for Segura. That 3 for 5. That's for the first at-bat to start a game during this 5-game run as the leadoff hitter. He's not walking much, but he's getting on base, he's getting his hits, and he is certainly setting the table for the Brewers. It is a Chris Davis festival tonight. We have 2 of them in the ballpark. Clutch versus Crush. Davey and Craig will explain when we continue.
Are coming out of the clubhouse into the dugout now. We are just about set for baseball. The Orioles and the Brewers are set for game 2. Matt Garza on the hill. He is 9-1 lifetime against Baltimore. Hopefully those are good positive numbers for a kickstart to a Brewers winning streak here at home. Davey and Craig back on board with you. We're going to talk about the sluggers, the Davis guys, the two Chris's, and the differences between the Orioles' Chris Davis and the Brewers' Chris Davis. And if you take a look at the numbers since last July 23rd, that's when the Brewers' Chris Davis was called up for good. These numbers are pretty similar. The Brewers' Chris Davis on a 5-game hitting streak right now, and that bat's coming alive.
Oh, it certainly is, you know, and what our Chris Davis is doing at the plate has been outstanding. What I'm seeing from him is the fact that he is seeing the ball better, hitting the ball the other way, driving the ball through the middle, and he's not striking out as much, you know, so that means he's locked in seeing the ball. But the biggest thing is the way he's able to drive the ball through the middle and the other way.
Some tape measure home runs, those two we showed you there, one to left and one to right. He is batting .450 with 2 home runs over that 5-game hitting streak. All right, Brewers looking to even up the series. Rock and BA return when we come back.
Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, now in the original can. It's Miller time. By Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Roof is all closed up. A little bit of rain outside Miller Park. We're glad you're with us. We are dry inside. Buck Showalter's Baltimore Orioles in town for day 2. First matchup between these two teams in this series since 2008. Orioles are having a good run against the National League Central. They are 4-1 this year against the Pirates and the Brewers. Batting order looks like this today for Showalter. Markakis, Machado, and Jones at the top. Chris Davis returns from paternity leave. He hits cleanup. Nelson Cruz and J.J. Hardy make up the middle. The bottom 3, Nick Hundley had the game-winning hit yesterday. Jonathan Scope, second baseman who went deep twice. And Wei-In Chen will round it out. Associated Bank, Baltimore Orioles starting lineup. And that's the batting order, Rock, that will face Matt Garza, who's had good success against the Birds in the past.
Yes, he has. 9-1 in 12 starts against the Orioles, and most of that coming as a member of the Rays. A 3.06 against the Orioles in those 12 starts has been pretty good here at Miller Park this year. 5 starts, A 2-2 record and a .355 earned run average for Garza, who took a no decision his last time out. At Atlanta, let's check out the Brewers as they line up defensively. Brought to you by Menard. Jonathan Lucroy, he's over at first base. You got the left-hander on the mound for Baltimore, so you want some right-handed bats in that lineup. Lucroy at first, Maldonado behind the plate, and Ricky Weeks gets a start at second base.
And the four-man umpiring crew is in place. DJ Rayburn will call the balls and strikes. Crew chief is Jeff Kellogg over at first base. He's the guy to keep an eye on in case we have replay review. Dan Bellino at second, and Tom Woodring, who was behind the plate last night or yesterday afternoon, he gets a call at third. Nick Markakis ready to lead off for Baltimore. Orioles come in 26-23. They are currently in third place in the American League East. They trail the red-hot Toronto Blue Jays by 2.5 games. Blue Jays have won 7 in a row, won 9 of their last 10. Then you got the Yankees just in front of Baltimore. Baltimore third, and certainly right there in the picture. The Brewers are a game and a half ahead of the Cardinals starting play today. St. Louis losing yesterday to the Yankees. Markakis, a swing and a foul, and that's how our evening begins tonight at Miller Park. Brewers trying to bounce back. That was a very tough loss yesterday for the Brew Crew. They had a victory right in their grasp. They were an out away with the bases empty in the 9th inning. Markakis was big in that 9th, able to tie the game with a double and an RBI.
Man, 2 outs, nobody on. K-Rod looked like he was going to breeze through the 9th inning, but a home run, a single, and a double. Tie game. J.J. Hardy, former Brewer, with 3 hits yesterday.
And Hardy scored the winning run in the 10th inning. Pretty entertaining game. Both teams swung the bat well. Baltimore had 14 hits yesterday. The Brewers had 11. And Milwaukee now with 6 straight games in double-digit hit totals.
Garza, his last time out against Atlanta, 6 1/3 innings. He left with a 4-2 lead, but he was charged with 4 runs. A rough 7th inning for the Brewers in that game at Turner Field, but Garza had good stuff. Fastball, slider, very good.
Little jam shot out to Ricky Weeks, and a close play at first, but out. 4-3 on the put out.
Garza had all 4 of his pitches working for him pretty well early on in that game against the Braves. Able to get a curveball over the plate for that ground ball to second base.
Now Garza looking for one of those signature starts once again. He's had a few this year, especially early in the season. Matter of fact, his very first start as a Milwaukee Brewer, probably his best so far, even though it was a loss. He was most dominant that day, going 8 innings and just 1 earned run, only 2 hits allowed to Atlanta. Manny Machado batting in the 2 spot for Baltimore, sitting on a 9-game hitting streak for the Orioles. Machado's been dealing with some leg problems. Doesn't seem as fluid as he has been, but he is in the lineup. Little jam shot there. And Garza is over to cover, and Garza makes a play. That's a little inexperience at first with Lucroy. And he wisely just gets out of the way as Garza picks up Weeks.
But once he kind of ranged a little bit too far off the bag, you realized he wasn't going to be able to get back. Allowed Garza to handle the throw at first base. He does it nicely. Gets down on the knee, able to make the out, get the out at first base. So Garza doing what he had to do to cover first.
That's good fundamentals by the Brewer pitcher. Looked a little bit like Garza probably called Lucroy off the way he reacted. This is a lineup in particular to keep Lucroy's bat in there playing first base. He started to do that a little bit lately. Had 2 starts at first on the last road trip. This is start number 4 of the season. And you have a very good defensive catcher, Maldonado, in there behind the plate. And he and Garza seem to work well together.
And with the left-hander out there tonight for the Orioles, Ron Roenicke has all right-handed batters in the starting lineup. You can do that with Lucroy at first.
Good breaking ball from Garza, and Adam Jones, all-star and Gold Glove center fielder, down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, well documented the problems Garza's had this year in the first inning. It didn't have that issue in Atlanta. Had a 3-up, 3-down first, and a pitch away from doing it again tonight.
The 0-2 pitch. Jones, little half swing. He goes. Home plate umpire rings him up. Didn't ask for help. It's a 9-pitch inning. To that strikeout, DJ Rayburn showing restraint. Gave him an equipment violation, a little fine, but he remains in center field as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Gene Segura will lead off again tonight. He's been very good in that spot, as we mentioned in our open. Followed by Braun and Lucroy. The middle of the order is Gomez, Weeks, and Chris Davis. Reynolds, Maldonado, and Garza rounding out the Associated Bank Milwaukee Brewers lineup.
Well, Wayne Chen getting a start for the Orioles, his 10th of the year, a 4.08 earned run average. He's only allowed 4 home runs. He burst onto the scene with the Orioles in 2012. In the first 2 years of his career, 19 and 18 and a 4.04 earned run average out of Taiwan. Let's check out the Orioles as they line up defensively. The best defensive team in the American League. And J.J. Hardy, as usual, Gold Glover last year, 3rd highest fielding percentage among active shortstops, a .983 fielding percentage. This is a good, solid defensive unit, this Baltimore Orioles defense.
Now you got Gold Glovers at short, in center, in right field. Very good defensive team in Baltimore. Ready to go here in the bottom of the first. Segura swinging away at the first pitch, fouls it off. A bit unorthodox in his approach as a leadoff hitter. He is not a guy that'll stand up there and take a lot of pitches and draw a lot of walks. Segura's on base percentage is .298, so he doesn't exactly fit in the metric model, but he does
make contact.
He makes contact, and he's a good hitter, and he can wreak havoc on the bases because of his speed when he does get on. And it's hard to make a guy change. And Roenicke made it clear, I don't want you to change. I don't want you to go up there and try to be this prototypical leadoff hitter like Nori Aoki was last year. You take him out of his game when you do that.
Well, what he does do, he makes contact. He can shoot the ball to the opposite field. He'll use that hole between first and second. You can tell by the way they defend him. Pretty much straight up. You don't see too many defenses with a batter at the plate set up like that. Pretty much straight up.
His 6th game in the leadoff spot. And a little soft liner and a base hit. So Gene Segura continues to flourish in that leadoff role. And starting game, Segura is now 4 for 6 in that leadoff spot. His first at bat of the day, 4 hits and 6 at bats.
And taking a fastball in on him. Chen will throw a lot of fastballs. It's a pretty straight fastball. He likes his changeup. He'll throw a curveball and a slider. But it's basically going to be fastball changeup for this right-handed lineup.
Here's Ryan Braun back in the 2 spot tonight again. Braun's first day in the major leagues, he batted second. And then he did it in 2010. But since 2010 until this recent run, he had hit exclusively third. Renicky wanting to make that change. Ryan Braun was all for it. Not a lot of 3-hole hitters in the major leagues are willing to go into the 2 spot in the order. But Braun dealing with that oblique injury, knowing he doesn't pack the big power right now. He can still hit the long ball, but not at the regular Braun clip. Still a major threat and a weapon at the plate as Braun shoots one to right. A base hit. Segura will hold up. Markakis has a cannon for an arm. And 2 hits to start this game for the top 2 hitters in the Brewers order.
Well, let's start the game today like the Brewers did yesterday with a couple of hits from Segura and Braun. Pretty good spray chart for Ryan. I mean, he hits the ball all over the diamond. He will be patient at the plate and will allow Segura to steal a base from time to time. It was a triple-double yesterday in the first inning for Segura and Braun that plated a run.
And that'll bring up Jonathan Lucroy with 2 on and nobody out. Yesterday, Lucroy was 1 out of 4. Batting average dropped slightly to .330. And he is 4th in the National League in hitting to start play today.
First 3 hitters in that Brewers lineup are going to go line to line on you. I mean, neither of the 3 are definitely pull hitters. They will pull the baseball, but they're always thinking up the middle.
Lucroy's been great in spots like this with runners in scoring position. Hitting .326, trying to give the Brewers an early run here tonight against Wei-Yin Chen. And a breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-2. Lucroy is also among league leaders in doubles. He is 3rd in doubles, just 1 double behind Paul Goldschmidt of the Diamondbacks and Chase Utley of the Phillies. If you're wondering, Troy Tulowitzki leading the National League in hitting starting play today, hitting .378. It's been a great year so far for Lucroy at the plate.
Well, it's been like that since day 1 in spring training. I mean, the approach has been very steady and not trying to pull the baseball, hitting it gap to gap. And one of the reasons why Ron Renicky made the move with Ryan Braun in number 2 spot, because he likes Lucroy and Gomez in 3 and 4.
No balls, 2 strikes. Segura and Braun aboard, and the 0-2's in there. Hit the inside corner, and Lucroy knew it.
Yep, he knew it. Fastball in. Had something on that one, 93 miles an hour. He will touch 94 once in a while, not very often. 4-seam fastball. We mentioned it's pretty straight. That one's straight as a string, and Lucroy knew it as soon as it hit the gloves.
Chen has good stuff. 28 years of age. He's one of 3 natives of Taiwan to be in the big leagues currently. Then we have 2 of them here tonight. Wei Chung Wong in that Brewers bullpen. CC Lee plays for the Cleveland Indians. Those are the 3 active players from Taiwan.
And talking to Johnny Nair, and there's Wong and Jay Shee, the interpreter. Those 2 guys are never too far apart. Even during batting practice, when Wong is shagging flies, there's Jay right by him trying to keep up. Johnny Nairn was talking about Chen today, saying he will flip that curveball up early in the count to keep you off balance. I haven't seen a changeup yet. It's a good pitch for him.
Carlos Gomez with 2 on and 1 out. And like Segura, Gomez thriving in his new spot in the batting order. It's Gomez rips one deep left center. There she goes. 3-run home run, Carlos Gomez.
And he might beat Braun around the bases. How do you like that batting order now? How's that working out? Pretty good. Well, Segura likes the leadoff spot. Ryan Braun likes the number 2 spot. And Gomez now 10 for 17 out of the leadoff spot. There's a hanging curveball. And no doubt out there over the Brewers bullpen for a 3-0 Brewers lead. Boy, the Brewers need that after the way yesterday's game ended.
Number 11 for Gomez. Now 29 runs batted in. Gomez now hitting .588 in that cleanup spot. Ricky Weeks takes a strike. Yeah, this ball got small in a hurry, as they say, into the Brewers bullpen. Gomez touches them all. 3-run shot. And 3 quick runs on the board for the Brewers. Like the Orioles, these two teams are similar in their power, and they rely heavily on the home run ball.
Yeah, it didn't take long for Gomez to uncork one. Chen's only given up now 5 home runs in now 10 starts. That's not many. Hung that one, and Gomez made him pay for it.
No balls, 2 strikes on Ricky Weeks. Getting the start here today. He and Jeanette part of that left-right platoon. And Ricky's been typically getting the starts against left-handed pitching. He's hitting .300 starting play today. Has a couple of homers, 7 runs driven in. A lot of his work this year has come off the bench in a pinch hitter's role.
And not afraid to take a walk. A .355 on base percentage. He's always had a good eye at the plate. He'll take his walks, and batting average at .300. So Ricky Weeks has done a very good job in keeping himself ready and limited at bats.
He's got an on base percentage of .355. Slugging percentage over .400. As he swings and misses, down he goes. And Chen strikes out Weeks. Both of his outs are via the K. And that'll bring up Chris Davis.
And a slider that time, down and in. Over the top of it is Ricky Weeks. Well, Ricky stole every one of his 4 pitches. He actually threw him a changeup in that at bat, first one of the day.
Now the red hot Davis digs in. And another long home run yesterday. He's hit a couple of tape measure shots over the last 5 games. He's 9 for 20 in his last 5 games. He's pushed his batting average up to .244. 7 homers, 17 driven in for Davis, and really starting to drive the ball to the opposite field.
He's staying on it. He's letting the ball travel a little bit better. Not jumping at it, trusting his hands, and good things will happen.
And we finally got the 2 Chris Davises in the same ballpark.
Big day for you, isn't it?
It is. It's exciting. Been looking forward to this ever since I saw the schedule come out last year.
Got a lot of exciting things in the works.
None of that.
No.
We have a few numbers. The 1-2. Yeah, Davis fouls it back. Like the Orioles, Chris Davis, the Brewers, Chris Davis can hit him into the far reaches. Watch where this ends up. Almost hit the SUV out there in the Toyota territory. That is a long home run
on a pitch that he would be pulling about a week ago.
He's got a couple of 450-foot home runs over the last few days. He had one in Miami as well.
He's got such a quick bat, and sometimes he kind of forgets about that and uses a lot of his body, jumps out at the baseball. That's when he starts swinging pitches out of the strike zone.
The 2-2 and a ground ball to third. Machado off the heel of his glove will make the play for the out. Side retired, but the Brewers strike first. Carlos Gomez, the new cleanup hitter, acting like one here in the first inning. A 3-run homer, 3-0 Crew. Nothing. Number 11 for Gomez moves him into the top 5 in the National League in homers. So here we go to the second. Matt Garza giving some run support here tonight. Something he has not enjoyed much of throughout the season. Chris Davis will lead off for the Orioles. A proud new papa on paternity leave for a couple of days. His wife delivering a baby girl 2 days ago on Sunday. And returning to the Orioles here tonight. Davis with 7 home runs, 25 driven in. Comes in batting .260. Will forever have to live up to the home run numbers that he put up last year. Tough to do when you hit 50 in a season.
Yeah, tough to do that back-to-back years. I mean, even the best have had. That's an awful lot of home runs, and you can see what he's done since 2012. Only Miguel Cabrera, not a bad hitter, with more home runs.
Traded from the Rangers to the Orioles during the 2011 season, and probably the best thing that could have happened in his career. And it's hard for him to say that, but he does talk about that fact now. He's from Longview, Texas, so pretty close to the Arlington area. I mean, it's an easy drive from Longview, and there is a little bit of pressure playing for your hometown team. He grew up rooting for the Rangers. A lot of expectations, a lot of pressure there when he made his major league debut at Texas at the age of 22.
And there's a lot of distractions, you know, family and friends around. Yeah, it's tough.
Well, Davis went to Baltimore. Buck Showalter had taken over the year before. Showalter had known him from the Rangers organization. And he did what Ron Renicky has done with the Brewers' Chris Davis. He reminded him that he belongs here, He's going to hit a lot of home runs. He's going to be an impact player. Even when times were low, Showalter was a big fan of Davis from the get-go, and he kept him in the lineup. And Davis really made it pay off in 2012. He had 33 home runs 2 years ago, and then last year hit 53 homers. He drove at 138. Led the major leagues in both categories last season.
He's got that classic left-handed swing. Likes the ball down, has that uppercut, that slight uppercut a la Ted Williams. And when he gets a hold of him, forget it. No ballpark's going to hold him.
Two guys that share the same name but could not go about their hitting more differently than the Orioles Davis and the Brewers Davis. Chris Davis hoping he can put up the big power numbers. He certainly has a chance to in this ballpark. And like Camden Yards, a hitter friendly, home run friendly ballpark, especially when it warms up. There's a swing and a miss, and Garza strikes him out. Second strikeout for Matt Garza, and back-to-back Ks getting Jones and Davis.
They went right after with a fastball. 94, his best fastball so far tonight. And got it by Chris Davis.
Well, Garza's had good success, as Rock mentioned, against Baltimore. Spent a lot of his time in the American League East with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, 9-1, not too bad in 10 starts, or I should say in 12 starts. Earned run average around 3. That's pretty good in the American League. That's good in any league, but particularly good when you have the DH to deal with.
Nelson Cruz with one away. Cruz doesn't have a whole lot of history against Garza. He is 0 for 3 lifetime. Garza has not pitched against Baltimore since he was a Ray back in 2010. Now Cruz leading the big leagues in home runs with 16. He's the American League leader in runs batted in with 45. It's going to be very interesting to see if Nelson Cruz, if he continues to hit, if he makes his way to the All-Star game on the fan vote. I believe he is second among the designated hitter standings right now. Tough to win that one over David Ortiz of the Boston Red Sox. But unlike Ortiz, who is exclusively a DH, Cruz does play occasionally in the outfield, even when he's in an American League environment.
Remember with the Texas Rangers playing right field against the Cardinals in the World Series.
Garza wipes him out. Big breaking ball and 3 consecutive Ks for Matt Garza.
Yep, slider that time. Well located on the outside corner. You can see Garza right over the top. The rotation of the slider and down and away. You can't put it any better than that. Perfectly located with 2 strikes.
2 ground outs and 3 strikeouts for Garza as he faces J.J. Hardy. Orioles did their damage with 2 outs yesterday, and Hardy was a part of it. J.J. had a 2-out double and then scored the winning run, what would be the winning run for Baltimore.
Yeah, 3-hit day for J.J. A couple of doubles and a single.
His batting average is soaring right now. It's at 304. He has 16 hits in his last 33 at-bats, hitting .485 during that clip. Jam shot to Segura. One shortstop takes care of the other. Matt Garza is on a good roll to start. 6 up, 6 down with 3 Ks. Gomez, first inning 3-run homer. Former Oriole Mark Reynolds, known for his bat, but doing some serious glove work yesterday in our Southwest Airlines non-stoppable play. Reynolds has been outstanding defensively at the hot corner, filling in for Aramis Ramirez. Had a couple of nice plays.
Yeah, he has been a nice surprise defensively, Mark Reynolds. I mean, there was pretty good defense on both sides yesterday. Why not? I mean, these are two of the better defensive teams in baseball.
Well, Reynolds getting his chance with the Brewers. Felt like there would be an open door with Milwaukee, even though he was a non-roster invitee to spring training. He had no guarantee of a major league contract. Swung the bat well, played well this spring, and he's been a key member of this ball club. His 11 home runs, currently 5th in the National League. Gomez is now tied with Reynolds with 11 after that first inning clout. Now Reynolds has homered against Chen. Limited experience against him. The Brewers don't have a whole lot of looks at Wei-Yin Chen as an offense. As a matter of fact, only Reynolds and Overbay have ever faced Wei-Yin Chen. Overbay not in the lineup here tonight.
I didn't bother Carlos Gomez. I mean, a hanging curveball is a hanging curveball no matter who throws it. It's interesting to watch Johnny Narin around the batting cage, particularly when the Brewers are facing a guy they've really never seen before. He'll go around to each hitter as they come around, and he'll give them a scouting report, and he'll kind of make it their own. I mean, based on the kind of a hitter that particular guy is. I mean, Mark Reynolds' scouting report is going to be different than Segura, and if a left-hander is going to be facing him, that'll be different. So Johnny Naylor and tailors his scouting report to each and every hitter, and it's fascinating to listen to based on who he's talking to.
And Reynolds sends that one deep. That is way back. Mark Reynolds hits one out. 4-0 Brewers as Reynolds hits his 12th. What a start tonight for the Brew Crew with the long ball.
Well, a couple of homers in yesterday's ball game, already 2 in the first 2 innings. And that was a fastball that time, 93 miles an hour, a 4-seamer. Middle in, and Reynolds able to get the bat head out and knock it out of here. Second deck out there and left. He knew it right away.
2 career hits against Chen, 2 homers. Powerball home run number 12 for Mark Reynolds. Tops on the club, and the guy he just passed, Carlos Gomez, was the first one to greet him in the dugout. Maldonado drops a bunt down, a beauty. Machado's throw is in time. What a play.
Yeah, that terrific play by Machado ended up in foul territory near the Brewers on deck circle. Remember, this guy's recovering from a hamstring problem. Maldonado just not enough speed to beat that one out. That was a beautiful bunt. Anybody else running, and it's a base hit. And it looked as though that he was out by half a step. Ron Renneke going out to see if the replay crew in the dugout, or I should say in the clubhouse, is going to tell him if it's close enough to get a review. I don't think so.
Now Renneke already heading back in is Jerry Narin. And another look at it. And looks like the right call. It's close, but
bang bang, not enough to overturn it apparently.
The call was out, so it has to be clear and convincing to overturn it. That's the key thing to remember.
Boy, what a play though by Machado. That was a tremendous play.
That's why they gave him a Gold Glove last year. He makes plays like that all the time. Just cannot be done any better.
Getting to the baseball is one thing. I mean, putting something on the throw and putting it right on the money when your momentum is carrying you away from the bag is another.
Matt Garza, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Not a bad idea by Maldonado. Machado was very deep. It was a great bunt. Just took a superb play, and Machado turned one in. I guarantee you'll be seeing that one all over the highlight reels tonight. An all-star, a Gold Glove Award winner, and a doubles champion in the American League at the age of 20 last year. Garza strikes out, blocked nicely by Hundley. He'll secure the K at first. 2 outs.
Hey, students, head to Miller Park this Friday against the Cubs for Time Warner Cable Student Nights. High school and college students can purchase $9 Terrace Reserve tickets and $11.50 Lowe's Bleacher tickets. Some restrictions apply. Visit Brewers.com/students for details. I'm not sure what the restrictions are, but they apply.
Only some of them. Not all of the restrictions apply. Just some of them.
Some restrictions.
Segura back to the top of the order. Strike one from Chin.
Maybe based on availability.
That might be one of the restrictions.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hope to see you out here. Brewers got a nice long homestand. 3 with the Orioles. Got a day off Thursday. Then the Cubs are coming to town for 3 over the weekend. And then the Minnesota Twins on Monday and Tuesday. 2-game series with the Twins. So 8 games over 9 days. And then the Brewers are going to be on the road a lot after that. 16 of the next 19 games on the road after this homestand. So got to take care of business here at home. Put yourself in a good spot.
10-game road trip wasn't enough.
Just coming off the longest road trip of the year.
Right.
So you weather the storm through June, and schedule turns in your favor a little. And Segura, the lazy, soft liner for it out. But the former Bird, Mark Reynolds, takes flight. And the Brewers lead 4-0 as we go to the 3rd inning at Miller Park.
As we head to the top of the 3rd, I'm joined now by Rick Schlesinger, the Brewers Chief Operating Officer. And Rick, an 8-game homestand going on now. We had a sellout yesterday, an expected sellout on Saturday. Tickets continue to sell quickly here.
Yeah, well, first place team is the best marketing tool you can ask for. So tickets are selling very well. I'm always encouraging fans to buy early and buy online if they can, because the good seats are going fast, and we're expecting big crowds all summer.
Another big event coming up Friday, June 13th, the unveiling of the new Brewers Wall of Honor. You have over 50 alums coming back. What is in store for that event?
Well, again, it's honoring the 50 best players in Milwaukee Brewers history. So Hank Aaron, Robin Yount will lead the celebrity players coming. There'll be a pregame celebration on June 13th. We're having plaques on a plaza outside on the north side of the ballpark. And it's going to be like our Hall of Fame. And it's great to have all the Brewers coming back.
Well, that'll certainly be a lot of fun to look forward to. So, again, that unveiling of the Brewers Wall of Honor will be Friday, June 13th, BA.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Thanks to Rick Schlesinger. Always good to see Rick. We actually saw him in Miami. He was there with his parents.
Yeah.
Enjoying Marlins Park. First time he had been there. Checking it out. He's working, right? It's tough duty. South Beach.
He's a fan, too.
Brewers up 4-0. Great start tonight. After a tough loss yesterday, the Brewers come out swinging the bats. Gomez and Reynolds with home runs. And Matt Garza has retired 6 straight, 3 strikeouts. He's got Nick Hundley, Jonathan Scope, and Wei-Yin Chen due up. Now Hundley quickly went from the potential GOAT to the hero yesterday. He made an error. This yesterday was his first game as an Oriole, traded from the Padres. Made an error in the 9th inning. Throwing error that put runners at second and third with 1 out. The Brewers were just sitting there ready to win that game. It didn't happen. A double play on a soft liner that ended the inning, and then Hundley comes back in the 10th inning and delivered the hit that won the game for the Orioles. It's amazing how it can turn. Garza's got a great breaking ball going tonight. He picks up another strikeout, his 4th to the first 7 hitters he's faced.
And he's been able to get ahead in the count. I mean, pitch count is in pretty good shape, and there's that slider going straight down, a very late breaking, sharp breaking slider. That's what you want. Yeah, quick, short, and late. Much better than loopy and early. Hitters have a much more difficult time picking it up.
Here's Scope, Orioles second baseman, who showed some power yesterday. Hit 2 home runs in yesterday's game. He came in with 3 on the year and then had home runs in consecutive at-bats. That home run in the 9th set the inning up for Baltimore. That brought him within a run.
Hey, he's a big guy for a second baseman. I mean, he's no shrimp. Out of that Bobby Grich body type. He's a big guy.
Nice name.
Speaking of the Orioles.
Scope packing a little punch in the bottom of the order, and he lines one to center field. He has been a tough out. The first Orioles hit comes from their second baseman, Jonathan Scope.
Well, even with those 3 hits yesterday, only hitting in the 220s, so somebody's getting him out. Obviously, he's seeing the baseball pretty well. The Brewers have been feeding him a steady diet of breaking pitches, and he's been all over them. A slider that time.
So that'll put Wei-Yin Chen at the plate with a chance to bunt Scope over. First plate appearance of the year for Chen. He did not bat in the previous games against the Pirates.
Didn't like that strike call. Look at him showing up the umpire. I mean, pitchers don't normally do that. Maybe they should tell him that as an American League pitcher. He's upset.
And Buck Showalter is trying to divert the attention.
You ever see a pitcher argue about a strike?
I've never seen it like that, and I'm not sure. And there's strike 2, and he's really not going to like this one. I mean, the idea behind this is you have to go pitch. You want those calls as a pitcher.
Right. I mean, you're going to call them on me. That's fine. Just give them to me when I'm out there. Looks irritated.
0-2 the count. You can't blame Garza, just seeing how far the home plate umpire would go out there. He didn't like the first pitch, which looks right down the middle. Second one was borderline. Gets the call on the third one. Pitch number 4 is just off the plate.
Well, maybe a little bit of squawking helps.
You know what they say, Rock? Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah. Shouldn't, but it does.
It's kind of the way it works around here.
Yes, it does. You're right.
2-2. And he bunts it foul, and a strikeout for Garza. So Chen does a little barking at the home plate umpire. He strikes out on the foul bunt attempt. And back to the top of the order now, and Nick Markakis. Markakis bounced to second his last time up. He's got Scope over at first. See what the Orioles are doing on the road offensively this year. They're hitting as a team nearly 300 in the road Grays this season. It's a sign of a good ball club team that can succeed on the road.
And you wish you had an answer for that as to why that might be the case, but you know, on the road the Orioles are 15-11. At home they're a game under 500 at 11-12.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, there was a stretch early in the season where the Brewers were having a tough time at home, but hardly had any losses on the road. That's kind of worked itself out.
Markakis a little late. 2 balls and a strike. Now the Brewers are now 3 games over at Miller Park, 14-11. 5 games over on the road. Baltimore lost their first 2 games on the road this year. They've won 15 of their last 26. Two balls and a strike. Markakis in the air. Mark Reynolds, foul territory, makes a catch to end the inning. 3 shutout for Matt Garza. Gomez, he'll bat when we continue. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Marshfield Clinic, don't just live, shine. And by First Supply, with 115 years of service and 28 locations, professional contractors choose First Supply. Oh, a little fast pitch softball action there. That was a good arm. Registering a good number there in the fast pitch. Always a lot to do between the lines and through the concourses here at Miller Park. Good fun today. Brewers off to a great start. Garza pitching well. 1 hit through 3 scoreless innings and 4 runs on the board. 2 swings of the bats producing those runs. Gomez and Reynolds with home runs. Gomez hit a 3-run shot in the first. He's due up third as Braun on the first pitch lines one left field off the wall. Ryan on his way to second, and a double to start the third inning for the Brew Crew. Ryan Braun is 2 for 2 tonight.
Well, he likes that number 2 spot. I'll tell you, the Brewers lineup is looking better and better every day. Ryan with a double in the first inning in yesterday's ball game, hit the ball hard a couple of times, and able to get good extension on that pitch. Actually picking on a first pitch changeup from Chen, and the Brewers in business once again.
5 hits already for the Brew Crew. Here's Jonathan Lucroy now. It's one thing the Brewers have been able to do this year with consistency, that's come back after tough losses. There are losses, and then there are those that sit with you a while, and I know that loss yesterday paid a toll on this team, specifically the manager, Ron Renicky. But the Brewers have been good about coming back the next day, wiping the slate clean, and producing some runs. I remember that game in Miami after the Brewers let one get away in Atlanta on the final game of that series. That was a game they didn't have a reliever ready to come in, and Renicky was so down about that game, and his team was down, and the way it all unfolded. And then they came back the first game in Miami and put the hitting shoes on right away to win that opening game of the set against the Marlins.
Yeah, put 9 runs on the board against Miami. A 9-5 victory.
It's important to do that.
You're going to have losses like that. I mean, every team has them. I mean, the situation in Atlanta, very unusual, but it was a loss. Well, and yesterday it was one of those things. 2 outs, nobody on. K-Rod just couldn't get that final out, and the Brewers, just lost. I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, it's not like football where you have a week to lament and agonize over it. You come right back at it. That's what athletes do. Forget about it.
2 balls and a strike. Lucroy fouls it back. And you certainly have to take stock. The Brewers hit the Memorial Day marker, and that's a significant marker, the first quarter of the season or thereabouts, in first place with 30 wins, a game-and-a-half lead over the St. Louis Cardinals, and they've been able to do it after struggling in the month of May and having to deal with a number of injuries to key players. So you like your chances. You try to keep yourself in the race. I think Doug Melvin said it best, and we're going to have Doug on the air with us tomorrow, but he was talking to us this spring about how you view a pennant race, and in his mind as a general manager, if you're in it, if you're in striking distance or ahead in the division by the July 31st trade deadline, then of course you're in it, and then anything can happen. That's when you start to see the real separation. The teams that are quote unquote buyers and sellers, whether you're dumping salary and payroll trying to rebuild for next year versus the teams that are acquiring. Lucroy, center field. Jones is there. Braun's going to tag. Jones has a good arm, and Braun won't test him.
You got 2 center fielders in today's game here that have pretty good throwing arms, and typically that's not a position where you have a powerful arm in the outfield. Gomez and Jones.
Now Gomez in our Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery and puts the Brewers on the board with 3 quick runs. Gomez now an 8-game hitting streak. And a heavy streak at that. He's in the top 10 in the league in batting. He's in the top 5 in home runs now.
I don't think anybody questions the fact that the Brewers are in it and hanging in there around the All-Star break or the trading deadline. Mark Atanasio will pull the trigger. He'll make a move. He wants to win as bad as anybody.
Yeah, that's been the trend anyway. Matter of fact, the last time the Brewers played the Orioles was in 2008, the year the Brewers snapped that long playoff drought of 26 years, making it as the wild card team. Of course, the trade that reverberated all through baseball. CC Sabathia. That was before the All-Star break. 2 starts before. Big swing and a miss. Pitch was in the dirt. Hundley secures it at first. Braun on his way to third, and he'll make it. So the Orioles get the out, but Braun takes third base.
Hey, good heads-up base running. If you take off in that situation, you better know you're going to make it, and he did. Chris Davis didn't even bother to throw. I mean, that's a pretty good gamble for Brawny. Hundley never looking back. He was able to get a little bit off that bag and get to third base easily.
You know, if you go back to yesterday, Hundley's last throw to first base was not a good one. I'm sure that was in his mind a little bit. Very deliberate to make that throw and get the out. So now Braun at third base. Always puts a little pressure on the pitcher. Can score on a wild pitch or a pass ball, a balk, an error. Take it if you can. Weeks trying to drive him in with 2 outs. And Ricky on a hop. Machado. Tough hop. Strong throw is in time. Makes it look easy over there. Manny Machado, the Gold Glover. 4-0 Brew Crew. Seen Carlos Gomez and a young fan. Her name is Jordan Heam from Fort Atkinson, and she lost it. Just meeting Carlos Gomez broke her up on Carlos Gomez bobblehead day. Well, tonight the Brewers had a little surprise for 15-year-old Jordan Heim. Tickets in the front row, and Gomez came out to give her a baseball and then told her, "You're throwing out the first pitch tonight." And check her out. Nice. Perfect strike. What an arm. So the Brewers doing great work making a Brewers fan dream come true here. And after the home run, Gomez gave her a wave, and that was a cool moment earlier this year. And I like the way the Brewers are handling that. You know, it was all over the country, that scene of this teenage girl crying at the sight of her favorite player, and Brewers rewarded her and her family with a trip here to Miller Park tonight.
I see that happening every day when fans meet you.
And you, and right. I know. We're used to that. I know what you're saying. We kind of get used to it.
We make them cry easily, don't we?
Right. Yes. Throwing things at us in adoration and spitting at us. No, it's not like that.
Come on.
That was a cool moment. And how about that? Gomez hits a home run, his first at bat, with Jordan sitting in the front row. Manny Machado leading off for the O's.
A good location for Garza so far tonight. You know, fastball, slider. He's mixed in a couple of curveballs. Four-seam fastball that time right on the outside corner.
Garza deals a 1-2 and Machado lays off it. Garza has been featuring that slider tonight. Has a number of strikeouts with it. He has 5 punch-outs thus far through the first 3 innings. He's given up 1 hit, a single to Scope. Two. Little jam shot. Weeks is there on a hop. Plenty of time. And there is the first out. We thought we'd make Jordan Hynem's day even better. Sophia is sitting next to the Heinem family.
Thanks, BA. And Jordan, you're holding the signed ball from Carlos Gomez. So tell me, what were you thinking when Carlos came up to you here and brought you out for the first pitch?
I was very surprised and had no idea. And I was so excited and so grateful that, this keeps happening to me. And I was very overjoyed.
What do you love most about Carlos Gomez? I mean, this is, you've now met him a few times and had such a great reaction to meeting him.
I think that he's just a very kind-hearted person, and I see him, post about his kids and his wife on social media, and I think he's a very great person. He's very kind-hearted, and I don't really care if he's good at baseball. I think he's very nice.
Well, thanks, Jordan, for joining us. And BA, the best part of the whole thing was the softball player came up and just fired a strike, calm under pressure.
Yeah, she does have a great arm. That was great to see. Well done, Jordan Heinem and Sophia. And I give a lot of credit to Sophia as well. She spent some time with Carlos in his homeland in the Dominican Republic this offseason, and we kind of knew about Carlos Gomez. We've seen him, but she really brought out publicly a side of Gomez that not many have seen. As Matt Garza strikes out Adam Jones and then stares him down on his way to the dugout.
And back-to-back strikeouts with Jones at the plate, number 6 for Garza. Another half swing, and Garza continues his success so far against the Orioles.
I think Garza was just making sure that he swung. He didn't see the umpire's call, so don't want to make that too dramatic. But he was staring in there.
Are you being a rebel rouser?
But he didn't see Rayburn. Neither did I. He didn't see Rayburn call the swing again.
Right.
So Jones.
Nothing there.
Garza with 6 strikeouts. His season high is 7, and he's done that on 3 occasions this year. Career high is 12. He did that against Pittsburgh when he was pitching for the Cubs.
Only had 1 strikeout his last time out against the Braves.
One ball, 1 strike on Chris Davis. Davis struck out his last time up. Garza's second in a string of 3 in a row. And a new set of signs. Maldonado and Garza. Pitchers rave about Maldonado and Lucroy. Brewers are fortunate to have 2 excellent catchers.
And they have a lot to do with the success of this Brewers pitching staff for sure, though. All the hard work they do before the game. And the way batting practice is set up for the Brewers, the starting catcher, no matter where he's batting in the batting order, most of the guys, hit in the group, the first 4 guys in the first group and so on. But the catcher hits in the first group, so they can go back in the clubhouse and have a chat with Rick Kranitz and the pitcher that day and talk about the scouting report. So a lot of book work before the game starts to get ready for a start. None of the other players deal with that, just catchers.
A lot to digest every day. Not only trying to get your own game plan ready against the pitcher you'll be facing as a hitter, but also involved in your pitcher's game plan. And a lot more to keep organized with all the various styles of hitters coming up.
And the game plan is different based on who's out there pitching. It's going to be different for Los than it is for Garza. So they go over the scouting report, and it changes every night a little bit.
Good news for the Brewers this year. Maldonado is hitting again this season, which helps get him in the lineup a little more often when he's swinging the bat. And there's a swing and a miss. Garza up the ladder with a fastball. 3 up, 3 down inning. 2 more strikeouts for Matt Garza, and he has matched his season high for Ks, and we're only through 4 innings. Three-run homer by Gomez in the first. Mark Reynolds went deep in the second inning. How about our carsoup.com email the booth question today, or our trivia question, I beg your pardon. What 2 cities did the Baltimore franchise play before they were known as the Orioles? This is a good one here, Rob.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you, Brian Michalowicz on the top of his game in this series.
Who's that?
Brian Michalowicz. Now we know what he does.
Oh, okay.
Comes up with trivia questions, and good ones.
We'll have the answer for you. You can think about that for a little bit. Chris Davis leads off for the Brewers. First time up, Davis grounded to third. Nice play by Machado. And Davis sends out one deep left center field. Back on it, Jones looks up, and it's gone! Another home run for the Brewers. The third of the night. Solo shot for Chris Davis, his 8th. And it's 5-0 Milwaukee.
Yep, a 1-0 fastball right down the middle, about knee high. Watch him stay back. Nice short stroke, and golfs it on out of here. Got under it, but it carried out of here into that Brewers bullpen. Oh, Brewers continue to hit. Ron Radke is he likes his batting order the way it's set up. It works.
Got some pop down at the bottom as well. Davis is on some kind of tear at the plate. Homering in consecutive games against the Orioles. 5-0. All 5 runs courtesy of the home run ball. So Davis now with 8 homers, 18 runs batted in. Reynolds hits that one sharply to center field, a base hit.
Brewers well on their way to double digits in hits once again. It would be the 7th consecutive game with at least 10 hits. They've got 7 already.
Bullpen starting to get active as Dave Wallace bringing out the translator with him. And hope the translator got the message right. Wallace didn't wait around to find out. Now our Felco All-Star voting update. Brewers have 8 players on this year's ballot. You can cast your vote at Brewers.com. Chris Davis swinging the bat like an all-star lately. Reynolds is on the ballot as a first baseman, playing mostly third in the early part of the schedule in the absence of Aramis Ramirez. Maldonado, a shot to short. Hardy's throw to first. Not in time. Almost doubled up Reynolds.
Yeah, another half step, he would have been out. Now, J.J. Hardy get rid of that baseball quickly, but a tough break from Maldonado. Right at J.J. Hardy and almost able to double off Reynolds, but he didn't do it. Took 2 steps, almost 2 too many, and just barely able to get back.
So that'll bring Matt Garza to the plate with 1 away. Likely up there to bunt the runner over. And he bunts it foul. Talking about Aramis Ramirez eligible to return from the disabled list yesterday. Sophia, what's the latest on the Brewers' third baseman?
Well, today a big day for Aramis. He was out on the field for the first time taking ground balls, and Ron Renneke said he's been coming along well, hasn't had any setbacks yet. Right now just working on striding out a little bit longer so that see how he can extend defensively, and there is expected to be a conversation either today or tomorrow about whether he will need a minor league rehab assignment or not. So that will be the next decision for Ramirez.
All right, thank you, Sophia. As Garza drops down a sac bunt. Now the Brewers are anxious to get Ramirez back. You start to look at this batting order. We've talked a lot about the order and the structure of the lineup, but you put Aramis Ramirez in there and his ability to drive in runs. That's a big bat to reinsert back into this lineup. It also strengthens your bench, essentially moving Reynolds and Overbay back in that platoon at first, and that gives you a little bit of a threat off the bench, especially when Reynolds is coming off the bench on that particular night.
And then you have some pop in that 7-8 spot in the batting order with Reynolds and Davis. Overbay with a home run yesterday. He's starting to swing the bat again.
Now Overbay hit a long home run yesterday up into the Lowe's level. Measured it over 420 feet. He and Davis went back to back yesterday. Two outs for Segura. Reynolds in scoring position. 5-0 Brewers as we play in the 4th. And it's 0-2. Segura's 1 out of 2 tonight. Gene's average up to 270. in the role of run producer here. Jam shot over to Machado, and that will retire the side. But the Brewers keep it going tonight against the Orioles. Chris Davis, a solo homer, the third of the night for the Brewers. It's 5-0.
In the community today, the Brewers Community Foundation has partnered with Waterstone Bank for this season's K's for a Cause. Every strikeout at Miller Park generates a contribution to Sojourner Family Peace Center. So earlier today, Brewers pitcher Marco Estrada joined Brewers Community Foundation and Waterstone Bank staff to tour Sojourner's shelter, which supports those that have been impacted by domestic violence. You see Marco there and talked to him before the game. He said it was a great day. He said he really enjoyed touring the facility, meeting with the people that work there, and he said it really makes you appreciate, you know, there's so much bad things that happen in the world, but good people that are working to help those people. So he said it was a great day at the shelter there.
And good for Marco Estrada to do that. And by the way, tomorrow it's the SCORE program. We'll be bringing you images from that. SCORE for Excellence Day tomorrow. Our friends from Gordon Flesch Company involved in that outing. We're headed to the Milwaukee Preparatory School tomorrow. Say hello to Principal Maggie Olson. We've got a few players going out with me tomorrow to the Milwaukee Prep School. Nelson Cruz hits one deep into right center field, and that is up and out. Cruz on the first pitch lines one out of here to the opposite field, and the American League leader in home runs adds to it.
And that's what he does. He takes them to the opposite field. He's got tremendous power when he's able to get those arms extended. And there's no way that ball's going to stay in the ballpark. Out away from him. That's a dangerous pitch to Nelson Cruz, picking on the first pitch. Outer half, and knocks it out of here to right center.
Cruz is off to a great start. 17 homers, now 46 runs batted in. J.J. Hardy takes a ball. Hardy has his average up to 302. He's trying to extend a hitting streak. He's currently at 8. I talked to him before the game. He said he's lost a little bit of his power. Had a back injury. Had to sit for 6 days. He came back maybe a little early and then had hamstring problems. Doesn't feel like he can fully let it go just yet. Matter of fact, he has not homered in 250 at-bats. It's been a drought for J.J. Hardy. Got to go back to last September, but you know the power is going to come eventually.
Yeah, he's had some surprising power when you make a mistake on him, and get behind in the count like Garza just has. Now it's a 3-1 count. Hit some line drive bullet home runs as a member of the Brewers. I had a chat with JJ before the game. Didn't even talk about baseball.
No,
How about that.
That's kind of the, the nerd in me. I go up, start asking him baseball questions. Gets jammed and fouled away. I mean, over there on the, in the cool camp with you and Euchre and Jimmy Gander, you guys, you're all former players and current players. So
Had a nice chat though. A lot of fun.
He's a great guy. I was thinking about JJ yesterday, and I know we were talking about this earlier. His brother Logan served in the military. We had a couple of tours overseas, and I was thinking about Logan yesterday on Memorial Day, and he said Logan's doing well, living in Tempe and working and getting back to civilian life. Right back to Garza. And Hardy is retired, first out of this fifth inning.
Hey, tonight's Tower of the Game winner, L&M Limited, Rapid Marts LLC in Hartford. Boy, that's a mouthful. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. That'd be a big sign on the street, wouldn't it?
Hope you don't run out of L's. You know what I mean?
Probably a lot of fun, though.
5-1. Garza just giving up his first run on a homer by Cruz. One gone. Nick Hundley now. Did he go? They'll ask, and he did. The crew chief, Jeff Kellogg, raises the thumb on him. And he's got him chasing that breaking ball. 0-2 now.
And it's been his best pitch, without a doubt. Put that pitch right where he's wanted it. He made the mistake to Nelson Cruz on a fastball out away from him, but that slider's been nasty.
Garza with 7 Ks already. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the fourth. Got a chance at one here. The 0-2 on the way. And a fastball called strike 3. Surprised him. Strikeout number 8 for Matt Garza.
Yep, the slider away set up this pitch right here. You get one shot to come inside and fool a hitter. You don't miss. Maldonado made it look pretty good the way he caught it, and DJ Rayburn rings him up. Good pitch.
Hundley kind of barking at Rayburn. Fox Tracks had it in there. That's the same system the umpires used to grade out their balls and strike calls.
You don't get much sympathy for taking the third strike these days. I mean, as small as the strike zone seems to be, you go up there and hack with 2 strikes.
Odds are in your favor to take. Scope sends one deep left center. This one's going to stay in the park, and a tough out this series is retired. After the home run, Garza retires the next 3. It's 5-1. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, our Carsoup.com trivia question. The two cities the Baltimore franchise played before they were known as the Orioles. And if you are steep into your Milwaukee baseball history, you know they went from St. Louis to Baltimore, but they went from Milwaukee to St. Louis. In 1901, they played at Borchert Field, eventually turning into the St. Louis Browns in the American League. Borchert Field, and still the monument to note all the great happenings at Borchert Field. And by the way, there is a bit of a monument. It's got a baseball on top. It's near Helfaer Field, noting the 1901 Milwaukee Brewers. They were known. From the Brewers to the Browns. The Browns were always thought of as the Yankees farm system back in the golden era of baseball. Although the Browns did make it to the World Series one year, 44, played the Cardinals. They're city mates. Once the Browns ended up as the Orioles, they started to enjoy much success. 60s and the 70s, great teams back then. And then Earl Weaver taking over as manager. Legendary figures. We got a great franchise history in Baltimore. Trying to rebuild that. They call it the Oriole way.
Yeah.
Buck Showalter's brought him back to it.
Yeah, Borchert Field just west of I-43 between Burleigh and Keefe. Bob Uecker played there.
Yeah, he tells Borchert Field stories all the time.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan Braun with 2 hits tonight. A single and a double. Flirted with a cycle in Miami. Part of a 4-hit game against the Marlins. If all of us could be having down years and still hitting .314 with 7 homers and 21 RBIs, right?
Yeah. That's a great year for some and a pretty good start to the season for a lot.
I give Braun credit for playing hurt, dealing with that oblique. That's a tough injury for a hitter. I mean, all the rotation that you do as a hitter, that's the one that grabs him the most. And sometimes he just has to have a day off, which he is always hesitant to take. But
spends a lot of time before the game with getting ready, ice after.
1-2 to Braun, and down he goes. Foul tip into the mid of Hundley, and Chen with a strikeout.
Only a 4th strikeout for him. Hey, it's a border battle at Miller Park. That's next Monday, June 2nd, and Tuesday the 3rd, when the Brewers take on their interleague rivals, the Minnesota Twins, with state bragging rights on the line. Reserve your seats today at 414-902-4000 or visit Brewers.com. Home and home series against the Twins. 2 here and 2 in Minneapolis.
And don't forget that Monday's game against Minnesota is a early start. At least it's an hour earlier. 6:10 first pitch. So I beg your pardon, 6:20 first pitch to accommodate national television. We'll still be on the air. Don't worry. Just don't show up late. It's a 5:30 airtime.
6:20, huh? So that's 50 minutes earlier.
Correct. 50 minutes earlier. So you can set your timer, your little egg timer that you have. You're looking at me like you're surprised. Did you not know that was an earlier start?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't have mattered because I'm here well before that. I would have had to start my Brewers Live pregame prep a little bit earlier.
Well,
that's all.
That's what I was thinking. You might need to dial in a little bit.
So then what time does Brewers Live start?
As Lucroy, a little soft fly ball to right, caught by Markakis.
So is that like a 50-minute pregame show? Or?
Yeah. So the game on Monday is 6:20.
I get it.
5:30 airtime for Brewers Live.
Okay, so it is an extended version of Brewers Live.
So we're going to need a little more out of you on Monday on the pregame show.
Really?
Maybe
you can do the big money moment before the game.
That would be fun. Wrapping up the Cubs series. perhaps a little instructional. Get down on the field and mix it up with the
so
players.
So that's 6:20 starts, not on the schedule.
It's on a few schedules that are current, some of the digital schedules, not on the pocket schedule that you still go by.
Was this sent an email or something? Or
oh, everybody, yeah, they made a big announcement. Carlos Gomez fouls it away. You should show the fans at home how you keep your Brewers schedule, how you pay attention to the season. So you wad it up.
No, I got it. I have
paper
one of those,
schedule.
Yeah, I got a pocket schedule. I put it in my money clip. And most of the time when I'm on the road, that's all that's in there when I come home.
Yeah, the paper schedule acting as the money.
Granddaughter ripped it up today, but I still have it.
It's always amazing. There's always a wager to see if that schedule is going to make it to the end of the season.
It's in 2 pieces right now.
0-2 pitch. Gomez takes a ball.
You'd think there's enough of them laying around the ballpark, I could just replace it, but it's a principle of the thing. I keep it until I can't read it anymore.
Just a little word of caution: if Rock ever hands you his paper pocket schedule, just remember where that has been. As Gomez swings and misses, Chen strikes him out. Hundley puts the tag on Gomez to secure it. Side retired. 5-1, 5 in the books at Miller Park. And the Brewers interleague baseball at Miller Park. Let's get you caught up here. And the Brewers going yard early. 3-run homer by Carlos Gomez. And then Mark Reynolds goes deep to lead off the second inning. Chris Davis, his second homer in as many games. Solo shot in the fourth. Meanwhile, Matt Garza has a season high for strikeouts. 8 punch-outs. Orioles do have a run on the board. Nelson Cruz, a home run in the 5th. All of the runs courtesy of the home run ball. And it's 5-1 through 5. Garza and the Brewers back at it here in the 6th. And it'll be Delman Young to lead off, pinch hitting in the pitcher's spot. So Young, who had a key hit yesterday in the Orioles comeback, off the bench. And he'll bat in the 6th. Chen goes 5 innings, gives up 5 runs, all earned on 7 hits. Gotta be careful with that first pitch. And Young swings away. Garza started him with a breaking ball.
Yeah, Rodriguez started with a slider yesterday, and he lined it into left field. That was back-to-back sliders yesterday in the 9th. One a home run, one a base hit. These Orioles stay back pretty well on curveballs and sliders, except for the one Garza is throwing tonight.
There's another one, and another swing and miss. 0-2. Tried to get him to chase one. Does not. The 1-2, and Young lines it left field. That is foul, not by much. By that much.
Yeah, hooking just foul, about a foot.
Count stays at 1-2. See what Garza goes with here. The 1-2. Got inside with a fastball.
Hey, Young, one of those guys, likes to get those arms extended. That's a good pitch to any hitter, but particularly a power hitter like Delman Young.
Try another 1-2. Garza from the windup, and that one is inside. Same spot. Young takes it for ball 2. Top of the order due up next. Third time through against Garza. Well, Young's been bouncing around, younger brother of Dimitri Young. He had some pretty good moments with the Detroit Tigers in the playoffs. A couple of big home runs for the Tigers against the Yankees. He's played in a lot of postseason games. Last year with the Tampa Bay Rays. The 2-2 and a dribbler foul.
Yeah, best season for Young was 2010 with the Minnesota Twins. 21 home runs, 112 RBIs, and hit .295. Good season for him.
And the count goes full. Garza and Young were involved in a trade between the Rays and the Twins. Young went to Minnesota with a few other players. Brendan Harris, Jason Pridey, and Matt Garza from the Twins to the Rays. And that skips by Maldonado. Young is aboard. That's a pretty good at bat by Delman Young. Got down early, draws the walk, and Garza with a man on to start this 6th inning.
Yeah, 0-2. He was able to fight off a couple of pitches and draw himself a leadoff walk. First time, or I should say back-to-back innings, where the Orioles have got their leadoff hitter aboard. Nelson Cruz hit a leadoff home run in the 5th.
By the way, Rock, I have a correction.
Yes,
you know the game that
yes, you do have a correction.
The early start we were talking about.
You want to tell the folks who
that is a 6:20 WTMJ promotion. 6:20. That's why the game starts at 6:20.
I'm glad you finally figured that out. Well done. See, I knew that.
So I apologize to all the 6:20 folks. You thought the game started at 6:10 though. So how did you know that?
6:10. I said 6:10.
Yeah, you were going to be here at 7:10.
Right.
I think both of us were in the dark.
I wasn't sure what the day was. I heard that TMJ was putting on a promotion.
Yeah. Well, I want to give them their due. So.
I live day to day here, pal. Just remember that.
This game being broadcast on TMJ right now across the Brewers radio network. Maldonado out for a quick chat. 6th inning, 3rd time through the order. He's fallen behind Markakis.
Yeah, pitch count pretty good. 80 pitches as we work here in the 6th inning.
Markakis, big cut right through the Garza fastball.
That's the same location that Markakis hit that double in the left center to tie the ball game yesterday. That high fastball, pretty good high fastball hitter for a lefty.
Markakis had a long hitting streak earlier this year, 18-game hitting streak that ended on the 11th of May. Hitting .292, and he lines that one down the right field line. That's trouble going into the corner. Delman Young around second on his way to third, and he's going to be sent home, and he will score. All the way from first on an RBI double by Markakis, and it's 5-2.
Yeah, starting to get behind in the count is Matt Garza. That was a 2-1 pitch. You see the 4-seam fastball in on Markakis. What a hitter he is. Takes the pitch away into left center, pulls that one down the line, had the count in his favor, looking for something to jerk down the line, and that's pretty good speed by Delman Young to be able to score all the way from first base.
Well, Young had a grinder of an at-bat, worked the walk, scores on the double, and Baltimore starting to knock at the door a little bit. It was 5-0 after 4 innings. The Orioles have scored in each of the last 2 innings. There's a bunt. Maldonado fires to first. Machado is out, but he does advance Markakis.
Interesting choice by the number 2 hitter with nobody out. And he does get the man over to third base, Markakis, but you would figure he'd be swinging away.
They do give him a sacrifice bunt. I think Garza will take the out, though, with a 3-run lead. So Markakis over at third, and 1 out for Adam Jones. Jones has struck out twice. Garza with 8 punch-outs, a season high at this point. Starts him with that same slider, and Jones lays off this time. In the air, left field. Gomez is racing over. He's got the stronger arm. He makes a catch. The tag, the throw to the plate, and it's late. Close.
Yeah, good idea right there. Good teamwork between Gomez and Davis. The only chance the Brewers had to play at the plate right there, if any, was for Gomez to catch it and throw it in. Much better throwing arm for Gomez than Davis. Carlos calls him off, gets his momentum toward home plate, and a pretty good throw.
Markakis runs well. The sac bunt set up the sac fly, and the Orioles are within a pair now. It's 5-3. Base is empty. 2 outs for Chris Davis now. Wave and a miss. Slow breaking ball from Garza. Expecting Davis to pull if he hits one on the ground in the infield. Outfield is straight away pretty much.
good job keeping the baseball in on his hands, not allowing him to extend his arms. Sliders in the dirt, fastballs in.
Orioles have scored the last 3 runs after the Brewers got off to a fast start. 0-2 pitch. Just got a piece. Garza looking for his 9th strikeout. And that one is called a ball. Wow. Garza was running off the mound, thought he had strike 3. And now DJ Rayburn hearing it from the Brewers dugout.
Yeah, that's why you don't get a lot of sympathy when you get called out looking on 3rd strikes. Why swing at it? Yeah, pretty good chance they're not going to call it anyway. The odds of being able to hit it are a lot less than the umpires not calling it. So why swing?
One and two. And a little half swing. They say he does not go. He's able to check it. That was close. 23 pitches in this inning for Garza of his 90. Davis, the kind of power that can make this a 1-run game quickly. He's getting a few lives up there at the plate. The 2-2. Big swing and a foul back.
Yeah, good thing Garza's getting that fastball in on his hands. If he leaves one out over the plate, he might get a hold of one here. Got a good swing at the fastball.
And there's a swing and a miss. Maldonado dropped the ball. He's got to secure it at first. No problem. So a good battle there, but Garza wins. They strike out. O's get a pair. It's 5-3. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. Beautiful Miller Park on a Tuesday night. Bottom of the 6th inning we go in this interleague battle between the Brewers and the Orioles. New pitcher is Preston Guillemette, his 5th appearance of the year. Brewers scored the first 5 runs. The Orioles have scored the last 3, including 2 in the top of the 6th inning.
Well, early entrance into this game for the Orioles bullpen. They have an interesting stat in the Orioles notes. When Chen pitches 5 or fewer innings, the Orioles are 6-10 since he's been with the ball club. Well, and he has pitched 5 or fewer here tonight.
Ricky Weeks will start it for the Brewers. Wei-Yin Chen went 5 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, allowing 7 hits. Brewers looked like they had a chance tonight to make this a lopsided affair, but not the case at this point. The Orioles have come fighting back, and it's 5-3. Orioles have 3 runs on just 3 hits.
Yeah, the Orioles scored twice in the top of this inning with only 1 hit, that double by Markakis. A leadoff walk came around to score.
Straight over the top with that breaking ball.
Yeah, acquired from the Cleveland Indians on April 7th. So an early season trade, got recalled from Norfolk for the 2nd time this year on May 22nd. He's been up and down a couple of times.
1-2 on Weeks. Ricky getting the start tonight with the left-handed starter for the Orioles. 0 for 2 against Chen. Brewers have 7 hits, 3 home runs tonight. Gomez, Reynolds, and Davis. Both of these teams with good late bullpens. Brewers gave up the game yesterday. It was their first loss after leading after 8 innings. Brewers had been 23-0 when they've had the lead going to the 9th. Speaks to the success of Frankie Rodriguez, major league leader in saves. 3-2 to Weeks. And he just stayed alive, in and out of the glove of Hundley.
Yeah, that's a pretty good slider from right over the top. Goes straight down. Average fastball, good slider. Check it out. I think that was more of a splitter right there. Throws a splitter as his changeup.
Payoff pitch to Weeks. He is on the corner. A called strike 3. First out of the inning. Well, it's now time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag WisFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. All courtesy of AT&T. The series will wrap up tomorrow night. Brewers will take a day off Thursday and then bring in the Cubs. Still got the Cubs and the Twins yet on this homestand. Have I mentioned that Monday's game against Minnesota is a 6:20 start?
Yep, and I knew that just now.
Brewers are hoping to make some noise this homestand. Tough loss yesterday to start it. Going to be spending a lot of time on the road after this stand. Brewers will have the Reds here at Miller Park. Those lone 3 games and those 2 long stretches on the road. Those lone 3 home games. Two and 1 to Davis. Big swing.
Good pitch. That split-fingered fastball from that arm angle just goes straight down. Doesn't have any side-to-side movement on it. And they say he can throw it for strikes just about any count. Now, a splitter's not a pitch where you normally throw for a strike. Usually hitters chase it.
Davis fouls it away.
Lift that one up. Those are the ones you have to take advantage of. Those hanging split-fingered fastballs. They don't do much and easy to hit, but he hasn't hung too many of them in this inning.
Gilmet delivers, and Davis fights another one off. That one in there at 89. Got in on his hands a little bit. We'll do it again, another 2-2. Yeah, good battle here with Chris Davis. 2 players learning each other for the first time. Pitcher and hitter.
Davis able to stay back long enough to just get a piece and waiting for a mistake. He got one earlier in this at bat. A hanging slider, but fouled it off.
And that one missed. 3-2. Inning started with a strikeout on Ricky Weeks. He got him looking. And the payoff. Davis pops it up. Shallow right. Markakis is under it. And there is the second out. 2 up, 2 down for Preston Gilmet. And that'll bring up Mark Reynolds, who has jumped back to the top of the Powerball home run leaderboard. Reynolds homered in the second inning. A leadoff home run that made it 4-0 Brewers. 12 home runs for Mark Reynolds. 25 runs batted in. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Not a whole lot of pitchers with this kind of motion in the big leagues. Kind of reminds me of Mike Fiers. Maybe a little Josh Colementor if you're looking for a National League comp. By the way, you see the numbers Mike Fiers is putting up in AAA.
Incredible, huh?
Fiers pitched well again last night. Even though he lost, he's got a 2.48 ERA. Huge strikeout numbers for Fiers. Brewers are very pleased with what's going on with their pitching at the big league level and in the upper minor leagues.
Yeah, change ups and high fastballs. That's his game.
Reynolds bounces to third, and it's bobbled over there. Misplayed by Machado. And Reynolds will reach.
Hey, you don't see that very often. Right up the glove of Machado on the backhand. That'll be an E5. Hit him in the heel of the glove. Not able to handle it, and Mark Reynolds safe at first base.
5th error of the year for Machado. Seems to be a little hobbled by that leg injury still. He's not 100%. Normally he makes that play with ease. See if the Brewers can take advantage. Here's Maldonado now with 2 away. Machado made a great play on Maldonado in the 2nd. That was after the Reynolds home run. Maldonado tried to bunt for a hit. A perfect bunt, he thought, when he left the box. But Machado, the equalizer, just got him by the length of his spike on the base. Great bare hand pickup and play. No balls, 2 strikes on the Brewers catcher. And he's down on strikes. Hundley blocks it. And the out at first. So a couple of strikeouts for Gilmet. 5-3, the Brewers lead, but it is down to 2. It's 5-3 as we go to the 7th. On the Marlins on FS1, and then it's baseball night in America on Fox. Rays battle the Red Sox. Pirates take on the Dodgers. Our Major League Baseball doubleheader begins Saturday 2:30 Central on Fox Sports 1, and then continues at 6 p.m. Central on Fox. That's what it looks like in the American League East. The Orioles in 3rd place, a half game behind the Yankees, who beat the Cardinals yesterday. And the surging Blue Jays, winners of 7 in a row at the top of the division. Boston, how about Boston? Finally won a game yesterday, and down at the bottom of that division, the World Series champs.
They lost 10 straight.
They had a nice comeback yesterday against Atlanta. I want to say they were down 8-0 in yesterday's game.
Yeah.
Came back to win. Well, key inning for Matt Garza as we go to the 7th. He's given up runs in each of the last 2 innings, and he's going to have to deal with Nelson Cruz, who homered off Garza in the 5th. J.J. Hardy and Nick Hundley.
And no activity in that Brewers bullpen. Ron Renicky confident in Garza. Of course, as soon as we say that, guys are jumping up, getting ready to get loose.
Garza was cruising through the first 4 innings. Had faced just 1 over the minimum with 7 strikeouts. Had a shutout going, and then Cruz homered off of him in the 5th. And then Matt giving up 2 runs in the 6th. Well, in that 5th, first pitch, Cruz drives it out of here to start the inning. Major League leading 17th home run for Nelly Cruz.
Pitch down in the strike zone. Strong opposite field down in the strike zone. Tough to do.
Garza looking for his first win since May 5th. A Cinco de Mayo victory against Arizona. That was here at Miller Park. 2 wins this year and 4 losses.
He's pitched well here at home. He's got a .355 earned run average and a 2-2 record in now 6 starts.
His 2 wins against the Cubs and the Diamondbacks. No decision his last time out against Atlanta. 3-1. Cruz takes ball 4 and a lead runner on. Back to the stretch goes Garza.
Hey, knock your 2014 group outing out of the ballpark with group tickets starting at just $9. Miller Park is the perfect destination for your next group event, whatever your group size and budget. Call 414-902-4777 or visit brewers.com/groups today.
Well, so Garza now facing J.J. Hardy, a hot hitter at the plate. Brewers looking for a double play ball here. And there's strike 1. A leadoff walk last inning resulted in a run. Garza's only walked 2, but they have led off each of the last 2 innings. Pitch number 99 for Garza. 0-2 on Hardy.
There's that slider. Has been a money pitch for him tonight. And J.J. Hardy way out in front.
In the air to center field. Gomez is there, and that is out number 1. Tried to sneak a fastball by him and jammed him enough to get the out. One gone in the 7th.
Yeah, good pitch when you're out there and the guy's looking for slider. He's had a tough time with it. You pitch him inside and Hardy jammed himself.
That'll bring up Nick Hundley now. Garza's had his number tonight, has struck him out twice. And a shot. Segura flags it down to second. Oh, the throw gets away. Oh, the Brewers had it right in their sights to turn 2.
Yeah, I didn't need to do that. Just trying to be a little bit too smooth out there that time, and had plenty of time to set himself. The ball was hit so hard. Catcher at the plate running to first base. Didn't have to do this right here. And off the mark. That'll be an error on Segura. Should have been a double play, but the inning continues. No need for that.
Garza keeping his cool, but that's going to bring Renicky to the mound. As Garza sits at 101 pitches. And Renicky's going to let him stay. You don't see Renicky make visits to the mound too often and not take the ball from his starting pitcher.
I just wanted to get a sense for where he was. I mean, you could see in the guy's eyes whether he wants to stay in or not. And Garza, who's been throwing the ball well, he should be out of the inning right now, but he's not.
Well, this has been a tough out for the Brewers so far in this series. Jonathan Schoop, 8th place hitter who hit 2 home runs yesterday, had a single off Garza in the 3rd. Schoop has bounced into the most double plays on the Orioles this year. He's grounded into 6 double plays. He's also a hitter who is batting with a lot of confidence right now. He's been swinging the bat well in this series.
Hadn't hit too many ground balls in this series. He's been hitting line drives, a couple of home runs yesterday.
With the pitcher spot due up next, Garza's spot in the batting order due to lead off the 7th. Jam shot coming in. Segura got to hustle it over to first base in time for the out. The second out. Both runners advance, and 2 in scoring position now, but 2 outs, and that'll force Buck Showalter to go to his bench for the second time.
Yeah, good pitch right there by Matt Garza. He got in on his hands on a 2-0 count. Busted him inside and an easy 6-3 putout. Still has a lively fastball. Still getting it up there pretty good. That last one at 92 in on his fists.
Well, and what could be his last hitter, Steve Pearce, introduced as the pinch hitter. Pearce got a couple of starts in the absence of Chris Davis, so he's had a lot of plate appearances over the last few days. Back in his role as a bench player now. Second and third, 2 gone. Tying run at second base. Garza trying to muscle his way through this 7th inning. Two and 0. Will Smith in the Brewers bullpen.
Ron Reagan trying his best to wait to use Smith until the 8th. If Pearce gets on, that won't happen.
Left-handed hitting Nick Markakis is next. 2-0 on Pearce. 3 balls, no strikes. Well, you do have a base open at first. Garza certainly knows this will be his last hitter. The dangerous Markakis waits. He had a double against Garza last time up. See if he has the green light. 3-0. He does, and he lines one to left. Foul. My goodness. Broke his bat, but just foul. That was inches away from a tie ball game.
And Pearce on second base. Boy, just hooking foul by about a foot. Brewers fortunate right there. Got away with one. Wow.
Pearce with a new bat. Pearce hit 5th yesterday. Started at first base. He was 0 for 5. He struck out twice. Loesch gave him a steady diet of breaking stuff. 3-1. And that ball's hit deep. In the corner, left field. It is hooking, and it is a home run. 3-run shot, and the Orioles are on top. Just like that. The lead is gone. Steve Pearce with a pinch hit 3-run homer.
And all 3 of them unearned. Should have been out of the inning. Bad play by Segura. Should have turned a double play. Didn't. And you give these guys an opportunity on a 3-1 pitch. Middle in. Garza got away with a 3-0 fastball this first time, but the 3-1 just able to hook it inside that foul pole. And there you go. So much for the 5-0 lead.
Well, and now Garza will face Markakis. 2 outs, bases empty. Well, the Brewers let another lead get away. They were up 5-0 in this game. Orioles have scored the last 6. Costly error. Garza spot due to lead off. You'll see a pinch hitter, and then Segura and Braun in the bottom of the 7th. One and two on Markakis. Going with a breaking ball. The 1-2 misses badly. Well, Garza had it going his way early. Even through 5 innings, had allowed just 2 hits and 1 run. But that 3rd time through the batting order, the trouble spot for Matt Garza. Full count.
A lot of pitches for Garza here tonight. Now 114 coming up. Well, he had it his way the first 4 innings. It was a cakewalk for Garza. Had 7 strikeouts through 4 innings. Been a much different story since the 5th.
And those 2 leadoff walks that have come in to score. It's a bouncing ball. And Weeks to, and the Brewers are late. Little indecision over there with Lucroy. Garza to the bag, drops the ball, was late anyway. And the inning continues here. Again, Lucroy started after the ground ball and then just ran out of the picture. But that's tough to have a pitcher come over there and cover, especially the way Markakis runs.
It's got to be an error on somebody. I would imagine it's going to be Garza, but Ricky throws this one a little bit too hard. Garza not able to come up with it. Let's see, would he have been safe anyway? Probably would have been, so it might be a base hit.
It's just the inexperience of Jonathan Lucroy. So Renick's going to make a double switch. Disappointing 7th inning again for Matt Garza. Fell apart on him in Atlanta in the 7th, and again here against the Orioles. We'll take a break, set up the changes when we come back. Away in this 7th inning, some defensive breakdowns. Matt Garza falling behind hitters, and the Orioles have struck for 3. A 3-run pinch hit homer by Steve Pearce has put them on top. The changes for the Brewers: Overbay will come into play first. That sends Lucroy behind the plate. Maldonado is out. And the new pitcher is Will Smith.
Well, you never like to see Will Smith in a game when you're down in a ball game, but you know Renke tried his best to get Garza through 7. He should have been out of the inning with the double play ball to Segura. They botched that, and because of that, the Orioles able to put up 3 runs. Inning still continues, and Will Smith on for the 27th time. Outstanding numbers for the Brewers lefty. A .40 earned run average. On here for the 27th time. You know, Will Smith last appeared on Friday against the Marlins, and as usual tossed a scoreless inning.
So Smith will face Manny Machado. Machado had a sac bunt his last time up. He's 0 for 2. Orioles got 2 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th. And the 7th inning continues. Brewers had a 5-0 lead after 4 innings. And we'll see if they can get the offense back together here against a very tough Orioles bullpen. Machado takes a curveball strike from Smith.
7th inning has been a trouble inning for the Brewers, to say the least.
Yeah, and especially Garza.
Yeah. Even on the last road trip, it was a troubling inning.
Garza with 6 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts tonight. Only gave up 5 hits. By the way, that Markakis ball was scored as a single, but certainly a breakdown defensively. Fairly routine play. Lucroy ranging over a little bit too far.
And that's where that inexperience comes in. I mean, everybody thinks you throw a guy over at first base and no problem, just catch baseballs and get outs at first base, but there's a lot more to it. Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you can't.
Ball and a strike. 1-2 on Machado. Smith trying to finish off this 7th inning. Machado doesn't bite. He'll have Overbay lead off in the bottom of the 7th. And then to the top of the order, Segura followed by Braun. Still time here. Brewers try to give the Orioles a bit of their own medicine with a comeback today. Losing leads can be tough to take. Markakis will get a head start at first. He takes off, and Machado fouls it away. Ryan Webb is loosening in the Orioles bullpen.
And he pitched well in yesterday's ball game.
Webb, O'Day, Britton, they've got a good combo when they have leads late, even without the guy who was closing games for him earlier this year, Tommy Hunter. Right off the end of the bat, Segura coming in and throws Machado out. The inning finally ends. Tough one for the Brew Crew. Orioles get 3. They lead 6-5. Stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by the all-new Chevy Silverado.
we head to the bottom of the seventh inning. And as promised early in the broadcast, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag WisFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast, brought to you by AT&T. Dan having a good time dancing out there. Where is he? North Park?
Dancing in the streets somewhere. Got the Brewers swag on. That'll get you on TV. Well, the Brewers going to have to play from behind now, and it'll be Ryan Webb out of the Orioles bullpen. Remember, Overbay will lead off. Came in on the double switch. Overbay, Segura, and Braun if anybody gets on Lucroy. So the Brewers are where they want to be in their batting order.
Yeah, Webb was first out of the bullpen yesterday, picking up Tillman. He pitched only a third of an inning. It was Brad Brock that covered 2 1/3 scoreless. 4 relievers used yesterday for the Orioles. All coming up with scoreless outings.
Well, Lyle Overbay yesterday here at Miller Park. His second home run of the season, and it was a no-doubter off Chris Tillman way up there in the Loge level. And the O's were out. The good news is the Brewers are swinging the bats. They've had 6 consecutive games where they've had double-digit hit totals. They have 5 runs on 7 hits tonight. And they're going to need them as they play from behind. First at bat for Overbay. Shift is on for him. Overbay getting the David Ortiz treatment here, the Barry Bonds treatment. Got to make you feel good, like they've actually scouted you enough to have this kind of defensive configuration, right?
I think they know quite a bit about Lyle Overbay. They faced each other a number of times over the years. No surprises here. This would be an opportunity to drop down a bunt toward that third base line.
I can hear the O's.
I mean, no chance. I mean, you just roll one. It doesn't even have to be a good bunt. Just keep it away from the pitcher and you got a base hit. Definitely tempting to lead off an inning down by 1.
Ball and 2 strikes. And Overbay is gone. Webb strikes him out. 1 gone here in the 7th.
Yeah, steady diet of sliders. The Orioles rely on the breaking pitch quite a bit. There's a slider here. Decent pitch to hit. Webb tried to get it down and in, left it up, but it was in. But Lyle out in front.
Webb's a good one. Orioles first year with Webb in their bullpen. Signed as a free agent this past off season. It's a nice pickup for Baltimore. He showed good wares in Miami last year. .66 Ryan Webb. And a .291 earned run average for the Marlins last season. And a bunt, and a good one. And that'll be a base hit for Gene Segura. A bunt single, his second hit of the day. And there is the tying run with the muscle coming up.
Well, just deadens this one beautifully down the third baseline, and you got terrific speed out at first base. You just need to figure out a way to get Segura around and tie this one up. Boy, Segura, you know, would like nothing better than to be able to tie this one up after making a mistake in the top of this inning. A beautiful bunt.
His 5th bunt hit this year. Segura has 10 stolen bases. He's been caught 6 times, which is at the top of the league.
A lot of that was early in the season. Much better percentage as of late.
You see Ryan Braun's night at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Hits in his first 2 at-bats. The go-ahead run at the plate in Ryan Braun. And a bouncer to third. Machado to second for 1 double play. Inning over. Just like that, the Brewers are out in the 7th. To the 8th we go. The Orioles lead by a run.
As they head to the 8th inning. Hey, the Brew Crew takes on the rivals from the Windy City Friday through Sunday. Reserve your seats today at Brewers.com or call 414-902-4000 when the Chicago Cubs come to Miller Park for a weekend series.
The Cubs are in San Francisco this week. They're down to the Giants 2-0 in the 2nd inning. Giants have the best record in the National League at 32-19. Brewers have the 2nd best record in the NL with 30 wins, 30-22. A lot of parity across Major League Baseball. Try to find a hot streak and pad the lead, but the Brewers scuffling a little bit, getting some offense, but giving up runs late. The Orioles scoring in the last 3 innings. Adam Jones leads off against Will Smith. Jones, Davis, and Cruz. About as tough as it gets in the American League with those 3. High fly ball, right center. Braun and Gomez over. Ryan will make the call and the catch for the first out. And here comes Chris Davis, who has struck out all 3 trips to the plate tonight. Cardinals have a lead tonight. They're up 6-0 on the Yankees. That's in the bottom of the 8th inning. Brewers lead in the division is a game and a half. Just 1 in the loss column. Cardinals got a good start tonight from Lance Lynn. I think he's still in the game, actually. 8 shutout innings. Brewers have had some success against the American League East. 5-1 against the AL East until the loss yesterday. There's a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, swept the Red Sox and took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees before losing yesterday.
Still have a series in Toronto. The first place Blue Jays. They go to Tampa Bay as well to face the Rays. One, two.
Yeah, Toronto won again today.
How about it? 8 straight victories for the Blue Jays. They beat the Rays 9-6 as Davis sends one to shallow center. Gomez will run it down. And Will Smith has retired the first 2 O's here in the 8th inning. Here comes Nelson Cruz. Looks like Boston's starting to put it together a little bit. Comeback win yesterday. John Lester led them to victory tonight in Atlanta. 6-3 Red Sox beat the Braves. Braves had a 7-game losing streak earlier this year, yet still sitting atop the division in the National League East. Smith got the final out of the 7th, trying to retire the side in order in the 8th. Driven into right center. Nelson Cruz sends one hopped off the wall, and that'll be a double. Well, Cruz keeps it rolling again tonight. 2 hits, he's walked, extends the inning.
And both of his hits, the home run and now the double, off field base hits to the opposite field, the home run into right center, and now the double, pretty much the same spot. This guy can hit, make a mistake out away from him, look out.
And it's not just the power numbers for Cruz. He's hitting an even 300 now with the 2 hits tonight. He scored 2 runs. He's at second for J.J. Hardy. Big curveball in there for strike 1. Hardy's 0 for 3. He's been the best for the Orioles with runners in scoring position. Matter of fact, he's second in the league with a .400 batting average with runners in scoring position this year. Fastball, strike. Buzzed it by him. 1-2 the count.
Man, not much you can do about that pitch if you're up there at the plate. Look at those numbers, huh? Pretty good company, Miguel Cabrera.
Smith's got him on the ropes. A ball and 2 strikes. And that skips away from Lucroy. Cruz will advance. That'll be a wild pitch on Will Smith. Count evens at 2-2. Now the Brewers will have Lucroy, Gomez, and Ricky Weeks coming up in the 8th. Smith trying to get him there down a run. 2-2 pitch. And a shot over Bay, gloves it. And that will retire the side. Brewers down 6-5 coming up bottom of the 8th at Miller Park.
trailing now by a run as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Davey and Craig getting you all set for Brewers Live postgame on the way. Time for the Brewers to rally. Chris Davis earlier in the game, our Marshfield Clinic shining moment. 3rd home run, Davey, during this now 6-game hitting streak.
Well, he got his 8th home run today, and we're loving what he's doing at the plate. He's seeing the ball very well, hitting the ball where it's pitched, and he's able to take it the other way, and he's just showing that he is locked in.
All the runs scored on home runs so far for Milwaukee. Can they get another one, take the lead? We will find out. Plenty more baseball yet to come. We'll hear from the manager, get inside the Brewer clubhouse, all on the way. Brewers Live postgame, Brian.
Yeah, they're still jumping around here at Miller Park. A crowd of over 25,000 on hand to see this one. And the Orioles setup man, Darren O'Day, the sidewinder, is on the mound to start the 8th.
And 22nd appearance. He's got an earned run average under 1. He's only allowed to 2 home runs. Opponent batting average almost nothing at .217. O'Day threw a scoreless inning in yesterday's ball game. Gave up a base hit, but that was it. Yeah, pretty good bullpen here in Baltimore. These guys come out throwing strikes. Good breaking pitches, just about every one of them.
Lucroy leads the way. Got Gomez to follow. Probably see a pinch hitter for Ricky Weeks. Would imagine Jeanette would get the at-bat against the right-hander.
You got Schaefer and Jeanette, left-handed hitters. 2 switch hitters, Herrera and Falou, still remain on the bench for Ron Renicky.
Well, the Brewers trying to snatch one back here today. Return the favor to the Orioles. Quickly 0-2 on Lucroy. Orioles had Tommy Hunter closing games to start the year, had 11 saves, lost that role just before he got injured. Zach Britton took over, and he's been very good for him since. He has 3 saves. As Lucroy down the right field line, just snuck inside the bag, and that's going to get into the corner as Lucroy is in with a double. There's the tying run in scoring position as Lucroy comes up big.
Well, now the Brewers have to execute. They got to get Lucroy to 3rd and get him in. Nice approach by Lucroy on a pitch up and in on him. Just pulls the hands in. That's what makes him such a tough out. I mean, Lucroy always stays on the baseball, able to tuck it inside the first baseline for a leadoff double.
Extends his hitting streak to 9 games. And that's going to bring Gomez to the plate, representing the go-ahead run. Brewers have been quiet since they scored their 5th run, which was back in the 4th inning. That was the Chris Davis home run that Craig and Davey just showed you. Gomez launched a 3-run shot off Wei and Chen in the 1st. Chased a high fastball from O'Day. If you're wondering, O'Day has allowed 2 homers this year. But he gets a lot of ground balls, as you would imagine, with this pitching style.
Yeah, that sidearm delivery gives you natural sink, tough to elevate.
Gomez trying to push a bunt to the right side, trying to advance Lucroy. Missed it badly. That was way outside. No balls, 2 strikes.
O'Day with a slider way off the outside corner. Got to bear down now. You make it out, you make it to the right side, you advance Lucroy to 3rd.
Not a lot of cleanup hitters in the big leagues going to shorten up with 2 strikes, but
now would be the time.
That's what it calls for here. Let's see if Gomez does. Lays off a tough pitch. Lucroy with a modest lead at second. O'Day checks him. The 1-2. Gomez pop up. Foul territory. Davis can't make the play. That was catchable. Davis kind of drifted over there, and Gomez has new life. Not an easy play, but one that could have been caught.
And you see him taking a look over at the wall, and he had a little bit more room than he thought. Had another step. Had he made that step, he would have made the catch.
One ball, 2 strikes on Gomez. Has been the Brewers' most productive hitter this season. Shattered bat, and O'Day to first for the out. Lucroy still pinned to second base. 1 out.
Well, knowing that Gomez is trying to lean out over that outside corner, O'Day comes up and in on him and eats him up inside. Gomez not able to advance Lucroy to third base. So a good pitch by the Orioles right-hander.
That was a breaking ball that didn't break. Stayed in there. There's Scooter Gennett, called on to pinch hit for weeks. Brewers need a big hit.
They're putting him on.
Yeah, they're going to intentionally walk the go-ahead run.
Wow.
How about that?
Are you kidding me? You don't see this very often. How about this?
Didn't Buck Showalter once walk Barry Bonds with the bases loaded?
Well, he wasn't the only one.
With the bases loaded.
But that's Barry Bonds. That's amazing right here. Setting up the double play. Putting the go-ahead run at first base in the 8th inning. I don't think I've seen many of this strategy used too often. Wow.
That is going to send Chris Davis to the plate for the Brewers, as Gennett draws the intentional walk. And we'll see if the strategy pays off here. Buck Showalter thinking about a double play, but remember, Chris Davis has delivered in the clutch all year. He's got a batting average of .246, and that's on the rise. But this guy, when you get past the 7th inning, has been a completely different hitter. He's hit for power. He has 9 hits in extra innings. Had a 2 RBI walk-off against the Pirates, the final home game of the last homestand.
And that included a base hit yesterday in the 10th inning.
So here he is. The Orioles have crushed Davis. The Brewers have clutched Davis. We'll see if he lives up to it. 2 on, 1 out. That's going to be the last move that'll probably be eliminated from baseball eventually.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about, you know, a balk is supposed to be anything deemed to be trying to trick a base runner. I mean, is that not trying to trick a base runner?
Yeah, you can't fake to third anymore.
Right.
Second base, the last base you can fake a throw without stepping off. Ooh, he had a big swing.
That slider that stayed up in the strike zone. Good pitch to hit. That's the one you drive into right field.
Davis has grounded into 2 double plays this year. Not many. Not a whole lot of speed at second and Lucroy. The Orioles have great arms in their outfield, especially in center and in right. Markakis with the best arm of the 3 in right field. Tying run at second. Go ahead at first. And Davis.
He knows what he's doing. I mean, those are 2 pretty good sliders to get Davis out in front. As much as you try to stay close, that arm angle really opens that shoulder up quickly, and you really have to force yourself to drive that shoulder towards second base if you have any chance of hitting that slider on the outside corner.
You got Mark Reynolds due up next. Chris Davis in a hole, 0-2. O'Day delivers, misses away. Tough pitch to take. That'll get O'Day thinking a little bit.
Interesting, incorporating the intentional walk to Jeanette. I guess I can understand a little bit more with 2 outs, but not 1 out. Now that gives the Brewers 2 opportunities to not only tie the game, but take the lead.
Here's a 1-2. Fouled it back. Fastball this time from O'Day. By no means is Buck Showalter by the book.
Right.
Never has been.
This goes against everything you read about as far as baseball strategy. It used to be you never walk the tying run or the go-ahead run to first base. Or the tying run for that matter.
Jeanette can run a little bit too if one gets in an alley or down the line. 2 on, 1 out. And Davis lays off another breaking ball. Now it's 2-2. The Brewers, Chris Davis, trying to make a name for himself. Two and two, and ejected.
Yep.
Able to lay off. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, now do you send the runners? I don't know.
Risky.
You got a swing and miss guy at the plate. You don't have much speed at second base. I don't think he's going.
Renicky hoping he puts one in the seats. Full count. Lucroy at second, Jeanette at first. They stay put, and Davis takes ball 4.
Very nice.
What a great at bat by Chris Davis. They're loaded now with 1 out.
I'd love to see this backfire right here. This strategy by Buck Showalter. So 7 pitch at bat. Davis could not make contact on a couple of sliders. Then he went to work, trying to protect the plate, keeping that front shoulder closed. He fouled off the only fastball that he saw in that at bat. And then O'Day tried to get him to chase. He wouldn't budge. And a nice 7 pitch walk for Chris Davis.
Bases loaded. Tying run at third with 1 away. Mark Reynolds, the former Oriole. In tight, almost hit him. Reynolds with 2 hits tonight. He homered in the second, singled in the fourth. Jeanette carries the go-ahead run at second as Reynolds waves and misses. One of those grand slams came on the last road trip in Atlanta. One and two. The risk reward of Mark Reynolds. He strikes out a lot. He hits a lot of homers. Got to get the ball in the air to the outfield at least.
Yeah, Brewers had a rough time in doing that in yesterday's ball game. It cost him the game. Man at third, less than 2. Got to get him in.
1 ball, 2 strikes. O'Day delivers. Fastball up and away. Tried to sneak one by him. 2-2. That walk to Davis has to be in the mind of O'Day here with the bases loaded. Couldn't find the range with a breaking ball. You saw Schaefer on deck. He'll be next.
Well, he figured he was going to get the young hitter to chase something out off the plate, and he didn't.
Good numbers against O'Day. 3 for 5 with a home run. 2-2, and Reynolds lines one to third. Machado makes the play. Man, oh man, what a bad break. Reynolds whistles one over to third base. The second out.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. This time O'Day very, very lucky, very fortunate. That ball smoked. That might have cleared the bases.
And now Buck Showalter is on his way to the mound.
He's going to go get a left-hander. He said he made the call.
So Schaefer announced as the pinch hitter, and Showalter is going to his bullpen. Reynolds lines out to Machado. Orioles still lead by a run, and one of three left-handers in Buck Showalter's bullpen. Brian Mattis is on the pitch here.
Another guy with some pretty good numbers. One of three left-handers down in that bullpen. You got Britton and McFarland left. Logan Schaefer announced as the pinch hitter. The left-hander comes in, and Ron Reddigue going to go to the bench again with Irving Falou, the switch hitter.
So Falou in his second day in the big leagues with the Brewers, back at a key spot. Grounded into a double play to end the game yesterday. Got a chance to put the Brewers on top. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at second in Jeanette. Davis at first. Switch hitter Irving Falou just up from AAA. Falou was swinging the bat well in Nashville, hitting .288. Versatile utility man. Got to play run producer here. No balls, 2 strikes. Falou down in the hole. And the 0-2 is outside.
Doesn't throw very hard, but he locates pretty well. 90, 92 miles an hour. Falou just needs to get one into the outfield. Doesn't have to overswing. Just put the bat on the baseball. See what happens.
Bases loaded. 2 outs. Mattis deals. Falou takes another one out there. 2-2 the count. Well, you figure the pitch of action here. Mattis certainly doesn't want to go full count, which would put the runners in motion. Big pitch. 2-2, 8th inning. And a little bouncer to second. Scope will make the play, and the Orioles get out of the inning. Brewers leave the bases loaded. They still trail 6-5. Loaded. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Back at it tomorrow. Yovani Gallardo coming off that ankle injury. Start pushed back a few days. He'll get the call against Bud Norris, former Astro. Those two have hooked up in the past. Gallardo just 3 1/3 in Atlanta on May 20th, trying to field a ground ball and rolled his ankle in that game. Had to come out in the 4th inning on that play. Not serious, but enough to push him back a few days. Had a second side session yesterday, and everything went well, and Gallardo ready to go tomorrow. Brewers are hoping Gallardo's going to be on the mound to try to give him a series win.
And Yo is due for a win. He hasn't won since April 6th at Boston, although he's pitched well. Has never faced the Orioles, and the guy that picked him up after he got hurt in Atlanta on the mound right now, Tyler Thornburg.
So you got Jeanette taking over at second after his pinch hit appearance. Thornburg is on the mound, trying to keep the Orioles up just a run. The Brewers in the bottom of the 9th inning will have Overbay, Segura, and Braun due up. So big job for Thornburg to keep this one close. Nick Hundley leads off. Well, the Brewers just inches away from maybe scoring 3 runs on that shot by Reynolds.
And no doubt that would have cleared the bases.
And Hundley into right center. That's going to get down, a base hit. Gomez cuts it off, holding Hundley to a single.
So Buck Showalter going against every unwritten rule in baseball, walking the go-ahead run to first base, comes out smelling like a rose.
Had him all the way.
I'll tell you, if that ball was an inch higher, he would have been answering a lot of tough questions after the game. Right now, they're not going to ask him at all. Very, very fortunate.
Tough break for Reynolds. Hit it right on the nose. So a leadoff base runner. Here's Jonathan Schoop. Orioles have done some damage with their leadoff batters. Cruz had a leadoff homer in the 5th. Had back-to-back innings in the 6th and 7th. Garza issuing leadoff walks. Both scored. And now a leadoff single here in the 9th inning. 0-2 on Schoop. Schoop, a native of Curacao. You don't see many second basemen ranging that tall. He is 6'2". He has a quick bat. This guy looks like he's going to hit, and hit for some power. Had a couple of home runs yesterday.
And he's played a pretty good second base.
Fast rise to the big leagues for Schoop. And through all 3 chains last year. Actually started in rookie ball and then ended up briefly in single A. Most of the season last year in AAA. Hit 9 home runs in 70 games for AAA Norfolk.
Yeah, 9 home runs in AAA all season. Got 5 already in the big leagues. Sometimes it's easier to hit home runs in the majors. They're around the plate a little bit more, right?
Got him. Thornburg powers him with a fastball at 95. And the first out is a strikeout for Tyler Thornburg.
Yep, curveball, then fastball up and in. So good luck. 4-seam fastball gets right by him, up and in. Not where it was supposed to be, but it worked out pretty well. Lucroy setting up on the outside corner.
Well, Buck Showalter going off the grid again. He is sending Bud Norris to pinch hit. Tomorrow's starting pitcher. Already used Delman Young and Steve Pearce. Both delivered. He's up there to bunt. And they'll advance a runner to second with 2 away. So a sacrifice advancing Hundley into scoring position for the top of the order.
I guess if you're so interested in advancing Hundley to second base, why didn't he bunt Scope and then use a pinch hitter to try to get another run? I mean, this is kind of unorthodox baseball right here. Go figure. It's like a chess game with Buck Showalter. He's got his leadoff hitter up. I should say, yeah, his leadoff hitter up and banking that he can get a base hit to drive in the run.
Off the end of the bat. And Gomez will make the catch. Here we go. Bottom 9. Brewers down a run. Orioles. Brewers are up 5-0 at one point. Subway in-game box score. That's what the Brewers have done tonight. Got a couple of hits from Segura and Braun. Mark Reynolds with a solo homer and a single, but the one that stings the most is one that went into the glove of Machado, a line drive out with the bases loaded. Orioles have made some changes here, upgrading their outfield defense. Cruz is out, David Lowe is in, and their closer, Zach Britton, is on to work.
Britton leads the American League in bullpen earned run average at .65. And you see his numbers: 18 strikeouts and 27 2/3 innings. So not a big strikeout guy, but he's only allowed the 1 home run. An opponent batting average at .161.
3 saves for Britton, including one yesterday. Been perfect in that role since he took that spot. Tommy Hunter was closing games early. Was struggling before he went on the disabled list. And against the O's are up for Lyle Overbay. 6-5 Baltimore. Brewers have out hit him 9-7. Top of the order to follow. Overbay came in on a double switch. That's why he's hitting 9th now. Got Segura on deck, Ryan Braun. If anybody gets on, Lucroy. Overbay, a shot, a base hit. Lyle Overbay singles to start the inning. off the tough lefty.
A nice approach by Overbay, not trying to pull the baseball, beating the shift. And Machado playing where the shortstop ordinarily would have been, but not able to get there. And they're going to go to a pinch runner. It's going to be Ilian Herrera, the final guy on the bench for Ron Renicky. So the cupboard is bare for the Brewers.
Overbay does his job. Base hit to start the inning. And Renicky going with the speed at first. Segura possibly up there to bunt. Segura did bunt for a single his last time up. Orioles are expecting a bunt here.
And play for the tie at home, play for the win on the road. That's the old adage, but you throw the old adages out the window in this game.
And Segura swings away. That got Machado's attention.
I bet.
Standing 75 feet from home plate.
Looking into Buck Show. You still want me standing here?
That's exactly what his look is like. I'll back up a little bit. Might have given him one swing. You got Ryan Braun on deck. Tying run at first. And Segura squaring now. And it's a bunt. Fair. Only play is first. And Segura with a perfect sacrifice. Herrera into scoring position. And the tying run at second base with 2 shots at it with Braun and Lucroy.
Now, which one is he going to walk now? Is he going to walk Braun? He's going to walk Lucroy if in fact Lucroy gets up.
Braun with hits in his first 2 at-bats. Got a single and a double. In a big spot. We mentioned it yesterday. Ryan Braun has not homered at Miller Park since last May of 2013. It's been over a calendar year. This would be a good spot for one. Would be a game winner.
Dialed up a pretty good fastball that time. 94. That was his best one.
And hitters, I was asking a couple of guys today, they say that you just don't see it very well. He kind of hides the ball, fires it from his ear, and it gets on you quickly. Looks pretty calm. Game on the line. Herrera takes his lead at second. And Braun bounces one to second. Scope. Second out. And now it's down to Lucroy. Tying run at third base with 2 away.
About as dangerous a hitter as there is in situations like this, when a base hit can hurt you.
Well, last hope for the Brewers, Jonathan Lucroy. He has been their best hitter this year.
I think they walk him here. Nope. Going after him.
Last inning, Showalter did put the go-ahead run aboard with a walk. He's going to pitch to Lucroy here with his closer. Herrera carries the tying run at third base. And a strike, a fastball at 95 on the inside corner.
Well, where's that coming from? I guess he's in trouble. He figures he needs it. He's got it, and he's going to use it.
Zach Britton has not allowed a run in his last 12 appearances, including the save yesterday. Good play. Nick Hundley saves the game for now. Good block back there on a fastball. Fastballs are tough to keep in front when they're coming in at 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, normally don't have time to get down. Pitch coming in there too quickly.
One ball, one strike. Britton delivers, and Lucroy over to third. Machado gloves, throws up the line, safe, run scores, and we are tied. How about that? The airtight Baltimore Orioles. And Lucroy hustling down the line is safe. They'll call it an infield hit.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a hit. I'm not sure if Machado gets him even on a good throw. It's pretty close. Throw a little bit off the mark. I don't know if that was going to be an out, if it was right on the money or not. But, boy, a little squibber in front of home plate. And you can see the Brewers excited. Gene Segura, who allowed the Orioles to take the lead on the error, elated about this.
Infield hit, RBI for Lucroy. Boy, isn't that the way the game goes? Think about that line drive by Reynolds, an out. Lucroy barely makes contact. And we're tied at 6. And Gomez into center field. Adam Jones with room. He's got it. Gomez just missed it. How about extra innings again between the Brew Crew and the O's? Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Second consecutive day in extra innings between the Brewers and the Orioles. Mark Reynolds will go from third to first. Elian Herrera, who pinch ran for Overbay and scored the tying run, he'll play third base now. And one more change here. New pitcher is Frankie Rodriguez. Linicki has his closer out there in a tie game in the top of the 10th.
Yeah, 17 out of 19 in saves. 2 blown saves. There was a blown save yesterday. The Brewers would end up losing in 10 innings. 30 strikeouts, 26 innings for K-Rod. Appearance number 27. So Ron Linicki bringing his closer in here in the top of the 10th, hoping that he puts up a 0 and the Brewers able to scratch out a run in the bottom.
On a little dribbler by Jonathan Lucroy. Gomez put a charge into one, but to the wrong part of the ballpark. And our buddy Jordan Heim, she's offering us some tremendous reactions this year. And that's how we all feel after that line drive out that sent Jones near the track.
Just didn't get all of it. If he did, he would have knocked it out of here, but gave it a pretty good ride.
So we play on. Jordan threw out the first pitch. And we continue here on the 10th. So K-Rod to face Manny Machado. Lucroy hits a ground ball like that to third. Machado, the Gold Glover, has probably made that play more than he hasn't, but it was just up the line. Lucroy may have beaten it out anyway. An infield hit. And an RBI for Lucroy.
He made that play earlier in the night. A slow roller, a bunt attempt by Martin Maldonado.
Baltimore is 5-1 in extra inning games. As K-Rod deals strike one. Brewers lost for the third time yesterday. They're 4-3 now. Tough part of the order coming up. Machado, Adam Jones, and then Chris Davis. 2-2.
Orioles seemed yesterday to be all over the K-Rod slider with the breaking pitch. Scope hit a breaking pitch out of the ballpark, and then Delman Young with a line drive base hit on a slider. Pretty good breaking ball hitting team. Used to be the American League was more of a breaking ball league, but not anymore.
Frankie pitched for the Orioles last year. And a bouncer foul. Machado able to foul off an off-speed pitch to stay alive at 2-2. Now the Brewers scored the first 5 runs. The Orioles scored 6 unanswered, taking the lead in a 3-run 7th. Lucroy with an infield hit and an RBI to tie it. Rodriguez delivers a 2-2. Full count.
Leadoff walks have not ended well for the Brewers tonight. Both times they've come around to score.
Here's a payoff pitch. Machado, a hot one. Oh, what a play. Herrera across the diamond. Yes, sir. Wow. Elian Herrera comes up with a gem.
Yeah, there's a standing ovation right there. I'll tell you, coming into the game cold. Check it out. He's in foul territory. And look at the throwing arm by Herrera right on the money. And a heck of a play. Boy, defense. And this time, Elian Herrera down the line, taking extra bases away from Manny Machado. Wow.
Heck of a play right there. Telling Manny Machado, see, now you know what it feels like.
Yeah.
Great play, Elian Herrera. 1 gone in the inning. Here's Adam Jones now. Got a sac fly and an RBI in the 6th inning. And a big cut. Jones was taking a swing for the fences.
That's why you start him out with a changeup.
Oh, and 2 had another good cut. But he is in a hole now. Jones has big power. He's had back-to-back 30 homer seasons. Coming off his best year as a big leaguer. 33 homers, 108 RBIs. Not only won the Gold Glove Award defensively, but also the Silver Slugger Award.
And not a bad year.
One of the game's best. K-Rod's got him down 0-2. Here it comes. And Lucroy blocks. Jones lays off. Maldonado started the game behind the plate for the Brewers. Lucroy ended up back there in a double switch. One ball, two strikes. Tough hitter at the plate. K-Rod delivers low. 2-2.
Really trying to keep that slider down in the strike zone. He got hurt with it yesterday. So 2 strikes, trying to get these Orioles to chase, but they won't.
Chris Davis on deck. Adam Jones, not a guy who walks much. A free swinger at the plate. Well, he's showing good patience here. I think K-Rod's putting him where he wants him, trying to get Jones to chase, but he has not, and the count goes full 3-2. K-Rod doing some thinking on the mound now.
This is usually changeup territory for Francisco Rodriguez. A 3-2 pitch. Knows he could throw it over for a strike. Let's see if he does.
Full count, 1 out. And a swing and a miss. He finally got him to bite.
Yeah, and there was a slider that time, not the changeup. Yeah, good pitch, and Adam Jones now has struck out 3 times today. On a pitch out of the strike zone, just waves at it. Good sequence for K-Rod right there. Well done.
And think about what that means just psychologically for K-Rod. Giving up the lead yesterday, a blown save, but remember there was damage done on his breaking ball yesterday. First 2 hitters with hits on the curveball or the slider, and K-Rod goes right back to get the strikeout with the curveball this time. Here's Chris Davis, 2 outs in a 6-6 tie. Been a tough night for Davis, coming back from paternity leave. Struck out his first 3 trips to the plate. He flew out to center field in the 8th inning, but was in a hole with 2 strikes in that at bat as well. Even the swings and misses are entertaining from this guy.
And that was a big hack on a changeup, and didn't even come close.
Wants a fastball. Got to put it in a good spot here. Lucroy sets up inside. Two balls and a strike on Davis. Three and one now. Well, you got a dangerous hitter next. Nelson Cruz. I beg your pardon. Cruz is out. Lowe came in defensively for Cruz.
That might not be a bad idea to just put this guy on.
And they will do just that.
Yeah. Why mess around? 3-1.
So the Orioles have the go-ahead run at first. And David Lowe will bat for the first time. It's a 4th outfielder. He plays a lot. He plays when Cruz is the DH. Showalter upgrading his defense with a lead. And now has Lowe at the plate.
And below a 163 hitter as opposed to having to deal with Nelson Cruz. That's a fair exchange for the Brewers for sure. And the problem that you have when you throw your designated hitter in the outfield and you got a close game, take him out and you lose him for the rest of the game. Brewers are fine with it.
K-Rod gets ahead of him. Now Cruz had a big night tonight. 2 hits, had a home run, a double. He walked, scored a couple of runs. No balls and a strike. First at bat for Lowe. And K-Rod misses, not by much.
I can't imagine where this one misses. I'd like to see Fox tracks on this pitch. Yep, strike. How many has DJ Rayburn missed tonight?
He's had both benches barking at him a little bit.
Yes, they have.
1 ball, 1 strike. And Davis takes off, and a bouncing ball to second. Jeanette makes the play. Frankie Rodriguez holds serve. Here we go. Bottom of the 10th inning. And the most clutch of the Brewers in extra innings, Chris Davis. He's due up. Brewers in a tie at 6. Lead the way for the Brewers as we head to the bottom of the 10th inning. All tied at 6. Second consecutive extra inning game here with Baltimore. TJ McFarland will be the new hurler for the O's.
All of a sudden the Orioles are in danger of running out of pitchers. They got 1 left. Out in that bullpen is Brad Brock, and he pitched over 2 innings in yesterday's ball game. Now they've used all 3 of their left-handers, and McFarland recalled from AAA Norfolk for the 3rd time already this year on May 23rd. Made his Orioles debut back on the 22nd of April at Toronto. And you can see he's had a rough time of it. Look at the batting average, almost a 400 opponent batting average, and got an earned run average over 5. So the Brewers need a run. Put an end to this one tonight.
Now Buck Showalter with a double switch, so Ryan Flaherty is in left field. So the Orioles skipper counting on this game continuing on and getting multiple innings out of his lefty. Brewers are hoping to end this one right now. You got Jeanette to lead off, Chris Davis to follow, and then Mark Reynolds. Last time up, Jeanette was intentionally walked in the 8th inning, and he represented the go-ahead run. Little half swing roller over to Davis, easy enough. 1 pitch, 1 out for McFarland. And here comes Chris Davis. Now extra innings has been where Davis has shined this year. Look at those numbers. 7 for 9 with a home run in extra innings.
Got to figure out a way to convince Davis that it's extra innings every at bat.
Chris with a home run in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3. He walked his last time up in the 8th. That was a tough at bat against O'Day. That was the inning. The Brewers loaded the bases with 1 out. Reynolds hit that line shot to Machado for an out. They failed to score, but the Brewers did score in the 9th on an infield hit by Lucroy with 2 outs. A little dribbler over to third base scored Herrera to send us to extra innings. Davis looking for one mistake here. The 1-1 pitch and a shot. They had him played perfectly. Scope will make the play for the out. 2 up and 2 down.
Got in on his hands that time, and Chris Davis not able to pull the hands in, and easy out up the middle to second base. That's a good pitch by McFarland. It's not easy to get in on Davis because he likes the ball down. He likes the ball in, particularly down and in.
Two up, 2 down. Mark Reynolds will bat. 2 hits today. He's 2 for 4, and they're going to walk him. Buck Showalter forcing Renicky to go with a pitcher. Remember, Renicky emptying out his bench just to get it tied. He's got a good hitting pitcher, but a pitcher nonetheless in Gallardo coming up.
This is a move that makes a lot of sense.
He has walked the winning run, but he's going to deal with a pitcher.
I think every manager in the game would do this.
Tomorrow's starter. How many games can you remember in your career, Rock, where the 2 next day starters both got at bats?
I don't remember any. And how many times does a pitcher walk to the plate and a pitching coach goes out and have a talk with a pitcher? A scouting report right here on Yovani Gallardo.
Gallardo is a former Silver Slugger Award winner.
I think I've seen everything tonight. The only thing I haven't seen is a pitcher hitting a home run. How about that?
That is a strong call. Well, Gallardo has 1 hit this year. He's 1 for 14 at the plate. His career, a .202 batting average. He's been called upon a few times in his career. He's 0 for 4 as a pinch hitter. And it's 2 balls, no strikes. Whatever Dave Wallace had to say, I'm sure it wasn't, you know, pitch him away, be careful.
I think he gave Yovani a lot of credit up there at the plate.
Well, now Gallardo can try to zero in on one. He certainly has the pop. One year he hit 4 home runs. That was the year he won the Silver Slugger Award, 2010. And he sends that one deep left center. Gallardo, Yovani Gallardo at the base of the wall. Here comes Reynolds, and he will score. Yovani Gallardo wins it. Wow.
I've seen it all.
Don't beat him up too bad. He's got a pitch tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? What a way to win this one. Wow.
A pitcher pinch hitting a game-winning double. Yovani Gallardo.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
They win it 7-6.
2-1 fastball. Yo almost hits this one out of the ballpark. And Mark Reynolds, who after he was intentionally walked, able to score all the way from first base. My, oh my, oh my. I've seen everything now.
And the big bounce off the wall. Reynolds scores easily. A walk-off double. It's like high school all over again for Yovani Gallardo.
And just to let you know, the ankle must be just fine. So he's ready for his start.
I can't wait to hear what Yovani has to say about this one. Let's send it down to Sophia.
Thanks, Brian. And Yovani, this has got to be a first. You come in, pinch hit, game-winning double. What were you looking for in that at-bat?
Just a pitch out over the plate. I think helped out that he fell behind the count. I just looking forward to put the ball in play somewhere.
Running around the bases.
Oh, it's awesome. I completely forgot about it, to be honest. Oh, it's a good feeling. You know, we needed this one.
All right, thanks, Yo, for your time. Brian, back up to you.
Right.
Gallardo with the game winner.
How about it? And welcome that Gatorade bath. Tell you what, this is an all-timer right here.
Seen a lot of things in this game. I think I've seen a bunch of them tonight that I've never seen before. Now, you can't really blame Buck Showalter for walking Mark Reynolds to get to a pitcher to come up. He got behind him, and Yovani, as we talked about, he can swing the bat, but who would have thought that would have happened? Wow.
Walk-off double. Let's send it out to Craig Kashawn. It's time for Brewers Live.
Wow, how about that? Yo, the winner